I was thinking about it. I actually struggle with this one.
Yes.
But I think the first one is kind of obvious, but I think like he would have a real problem with like not solving something, and like so if something hasn't been solved, or like even if it's just like something he hasn't got quite down to the bottom of, like even little mysteries or puzzles that he
that
hasn't
coded
finished,
journal you
like,
picked up back in
irritates him.
Lomarsh that
Yeah.
still not quite worked out who it was from.
Yeah.
And that he'd be like
It's like
sitting there
it's
in
like
his
the
downtime
thing
just
is
pouring
the
over.
He's like, I need work. I need solutions.
Yeah,
Sherlock
like
Holmes.
not quite like have you guys seen The Accountant?
No.
Oh, there's like there's this scene at the start where he's a kid who's like on the autism spectrum quite heavily, and like he doesn't like he can't find the last piece of a puzzle, and he like has a full-on tantrum. He's not quite like that, but it's like it's just like a thing that slightly irritates him.
He needs closure.
Yeah, and then I think another thing.
I like fruit
What
things.
was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and I think he just enjoys puzzles. So like I think in his downtime, it's like doing crosswords and stuff like that.
I met. Is there like an Evergreen equivalent to a Rubik's cube?
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like
Of course there is.
The dwarvish prism.
Or
Yeah.
the Dwarvish prison.
And then
I'd like one for Christmas.
And
I'm
I
going to
reckon-
put it on my Father Christmas list.
actually, this is kind of. I just thought of this. I think this is kind of fun.
Mm.
I reckon his facial hair
Mm.
changes slightly. Like
Oh,
when
okay.
he's like, if he's like really angry, it starts to grow out a little bit.
Oh, that's fun.
Like he doesn't go full beast form because he can go like into his animal form, but like sometimes if he's like
I
pissed
love
off, it just like his beard just gets a little bit unkempt. Like
Kind
it's
of
actually
like
quite
Pinocchio,
neatly
but for
But-
mood.
trimmed. Yeah. But it's not something you'd notice unless you're like because you guys have been around for a while.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this is. It's you've
Yeah.
known each other for like over 2 months now, whatever it is. What you see. I love that. That's great. That's great. I gave you the hero one already.
Thank
Anyone else got one?
Yeah. 3 things.
Mm.
First, like, you would have noticed pretty clearly that it's the sort of dude who isn't the first one to go down in a fight. He's not going to, like, stand there and protect everyone. He's going to, like, try and save himself, but also help as much as possible.
Mhm.
Secondly, he has a really strange walk. It's just like a gait more than a walk. He's like, he's not walking like a normal individual. He's just like a little bit. How would you describe it? Like almost like a quick slow. Like he's like meandering almost.
Mm.
And the third thing is that where most people would just walk past, he acknowledges almost every figure, in particular the children. Even if he doesn't give them any money or anything, he is very clearly like looking at them and acknowledging their
They're not
existence, saying
unmentionable.
hello, nodding something along those lines almost always.
Never got a blue card.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm pretty passing it up today.
Are you still playing as like a version of Jafar?
Yeah, loosely. Like if you imagine like Jafar's bloodline crossed with. So it's the character itself is kind of Jafar crossed with Aladdin.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like Street Rat Jafar.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Jafar's son type thing.
Yeah.
But
Did you ever end up watching that musical Twisted at all?
no.
You should give it a watch. I reckon it'd be fun. To do.
But he's also like got traits of Robin Hood.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's kind of like from the Street Rat background, like got traits of Robin Hood as well.
I love that.
Okay. So
Giselle and Mordred, what do you reckon?
So, things you might have noticed about Drizella. When Drizella doesn't tend to sit in chairs, so she'll sit on the floor in the corner. She's not. She always looks very uncomfortable if we have to go in somebody's office and like sit down. Whereas you, I would think, probably look really at home in that sort of environment. She looks very uncomfortable. And when she sits down, her legs bend backwards and her feet bend up in this really uncomfortable way. So it's almost like she's
Like
made
an
it.
acrobat.
No, more like a deck chair. So if you imagine her legs go back and her feet come up and then she leans back on them like a backrest.
Oh, I love it.
Like she's her own sort of deck chair,
Yeah.
which is disconcerting. And I think it's at the point now where other people would find it disconcerting. You're just so used to it. You're just like, oh, it's gross. But
But then
it
other
doesn't
people
even... it doesn't even register. But if we were, on the ship and somebody walked in, it would be like, what the fuck?
Oh god, you're
Like
right.
your feet are propped up like this behind you, and you like lie back, and it's like you have to kind of discombobulate yourself to be able to get up. So there's that, which is odd, and the other thing is that she, when given the opportunity, will sleep with the light on.
Okay.
I imagine she and Mordred get along in that sense. There's always a light on.
Yeah, they do like that shit.
Yeah.
He's like, turn those fucking lights on.
And I think it's probably one of the things that
He starts lecturing.
I think it's probably one of the things Mordred noticed in the caravan ride at the very beginning when they ended up travelling together, was that Drizella didn't mind that Mordred wanted the light on, but or a candle burning,
I love
yeah.
it. That's really cool. And Mordred.
Mordred. So, like he did when we had that vision in the ziggurat, he always sleeps with his sword outside the tent. But every time he wakes up, he's always got the sword in his hand. No matter how far away he puts it from the tent or where he's sleeping, he always wakes up with a sword in his hand, unsheathed. And while he sleeps, as a second thing, he mutters to himself in Aklo in Dark Fae. And a third one, a lighter one, he's a vegetarian, so every time you go to a place, he'll probably just be like, no meat, and he'll just judge you silently if you eat meat.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
I love Mordred's silent judginess.
He'll judge. He'll feel really sorry for the animals, but he's not going to say anything because he understands cultural differences.
Love that. Point's just there.
Bigby's there, just eating a steak.
Just full steak, just like no vegetables, just straight steak.
And I'm like, you'll get scurvy if you don't eat this.
I'm on a carnivore diet.
No. Yeah, there's this fucking corrupting, conniving imp that tells people just to eat meat.
Peter Jordanson.
Peter Jordanson, there we go. That's one of the funny pun names. Alright.
Do you want to drink some water?
Oh, thank you so much. Alright.
Anyone else want some water?
Yes, please.
Let me, super quick before we start, David, did you grab those level 4 features at all?
Yeah.
Well, just let me know what you took.
Yeah, I took Bleed Out, Familiar Conduit.
Hold on, sorry. So, what was your class speed?
Bleed Out.
Bleed Out.
The free archetype was Familiar Conduit.
Hang on, I don't have access to
Thank you.
it.
Did you want one, David?
Just oh, hang on, I can see it on the thing I was on. Easier.
It's not as good as last night, where it absolutely
Crazy.
We were at C Square when that happened, and all these people just ran to shelter. It was really funny. Did your power go out?
No, thankfully, because I got like so come on.
Hurry up.
Drizella and Big B. Awesome gold characters. Alright.
And the skill thing?
It's all good. I've just pulled it up on the thing I would stand.
Okay.
Do in case it's relevant.
Because I did get one extra spell as well, which I think she would have pulled out.
Yeah. When you cast, you can bleed people. Nasty. And then we conduit. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Cast from there, and then. Oh, that'll be handy as short identification. That's a great.
Am I correct with Familiar Conduit?
Mm-hmm.
That does it have to be on the same turn, or can it be the next turn?
So your familiar acts immediately after you, so it can be the same turn.
Because it uses 2 actions, but then your next action has to be a spell.
So familiar conduit is actually not an action you take; it's an action your familiar takes. So the familiar takes those 2 actions. And actually, I think that's a single action, isn't it? Yeah, that means single action.
Okay.
The one square. Double actions is two on top of each other.
Okay, so the familiar takes the action to do
the
that.
familiar
and
casts
cast
the spell. So you cast the spell using your regular action economy.
Mhm.
You then get a third action, and then on your familiar's turn, which is right after yours, the familiar can use its action.
Cool.
Oh, sorry, you need to use an action to instruct your familiar. So you use 2 to cast a spell, 1 to tell your familiar what to do. Your familiar then gets 2 actions, one of which is to move, one of which is to activate the spell. Yeah, it's a little bit convoluted, but
We'll learn it.
yeah, it feels more natural once you get into the rhythm of cast spell, instruct familiar.
Yeah. It basically just means I can have like a look around a corner to cast a spell kind of thing.
Absolutely. In battle, it also means you can just fuck off.
Which
I can
sounds
hide
in
while the
character.
parent does it. Well, you have to. It's.
I think
the
you
way
still need to see the targets, but you
you
can be
no, you must have line of effect to your familiar.
cool. So you just need to see the familiar.
Yeah,
But
line
you
of
can be
effect is just
aware.
line of sight. I
Yeah,
assume.
yeah. It means you don't actually need to see if you have like a blind sight.
If you have like some sort of tremor sense or something.
Yeah, but you just need to be able to draw a straight line to the target.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, bit of a recap. Welcome back to Evergreen. You have been hired by Memphis Cadwallader, a wealthy gnome working for the Silver Lady, Queen of Avalon, Queen Maeve. He wants you to retrieve 3 items from Carlos the Nath, also known as the Beast King, a wizard who cursed himself with a terrible transformation attempting to harness the power of animals. He stole the 3 very items that you sought, that you are charged to retrieve, and then fled and usurped the kingship of Salazar Glum, the glade in Carathun that you quickly approach. He rules with the power of 3 strong magical items. The first, a rosewood staff of beguiling, a powerful enchantment tool. The second, the ring of objectification, a plain-looking wedding band that allows the wearer to turn people into items and items into people. And finally, and most powerfully of all, the looking glass. A glass orb of scrying that has potentially unlimited power. It is the thing that Memphis Cadwallader asks you to get the most. You get more money for that one, but wants all 3 if possible. Throughout your adventures, you found a couple of clues, a couple of references that indicates that Memphis may be more than he originally let on. You found a torn up remains of a contract. You saw the name Memphis Cadwallader, Tobias Gold, Lewis Cipher, and believe he may be something very powerful and strange indeed. You found that you had all had, before meeting him, in your possession, coins that had him on one side, and dates and numbers you could not understand on the other. And you shook his hand.
That was creepy time.
You cannot
And
understand.
you shook his hand. Okay. This is
The
somebody's
devil
really,
himself.
Yeah.
somebody's really unhappy.
someone's
We should.
I think that is what Bigby thinks from the role.
Whereas we think he's Rumpelstiltskin.
That was the name you found on the contract. That doesn't mean much to you, but it's a strange.
Yeah, we were like, what an odd name. Anyway,
So, after much travelling, heading towards Salazar Glum, you eventually reached Goback, a once great city largely abandoned with an enormous ziggurat, this great structure of dark solid stone and slate in the centre, through which you had various visions. Bigby, you saw a great dead oak tree somewhere far to the north, and a voice asking you to find it, look for it, seek it out. At great importance. It has great importance to you in your future. That was about some of it. The rest of us saw bits and pieces. Sibylla directed you towards finding a woman called Dame Gothel near Salazar Glum, on the road to Salazar Glum. You would meet her, it was said. Let's do some other quick visually stuff, and then we'll jump back into where we were, which is on the road to Salazar Glum. We might go Drizella, Mordred, and Darian will begin. Drizella, you see before you walking dead, corpses that march slowly and unassuredly in no direction in particular. Battle wounds adorn them, and all of their faces simply ask their backstory. They're not blank, There's not been removed, they're just absent. You can't place where individuals are, but you just know that each and every one of them is someone you've met, healed, shared a drink with, or sold something to, people you've interacted with in your years. All of them since the flesh walk curse has helped you. They're covered in what first looks like mold or moss, but as you look closer, you realize it's briars and thorns and vines growing out of them larger and larger. And as you look closer still, you realize they're not what they are, but merely an illusion. Stained glass windows of green, the cracks through them that make the thorns. And as you look closer, the cracks part through the glass into the world itself, shattering and falling apart. Bits of glass spreading wider and wider, a darkness in the gaps of the world have formed. Far into the darkness, you see many sets of eyes looking back at you. Wise eyes, old eyes, bloodied eyes, pink eyes, something like your own eyes, 6 eyes in one, dead eyes in the other. Darkness seeps through the shattered glass as it falls about, and no longer is the world made of glass, but you are in a single piece of glass. No! As you are reminded of the shard of glass you found, it has a face in it. You made a trade with a while ago. Ate some of the glass, took it within yourself.
I've got fucked glass eating damage.
You do also have locate 4 times a day.
Yes.
Which is pretty good.
Fucked glass eating damage is what it's referred to on my character sheet.
That is what you use in addition to the other stuff you saw.
Yeah.
Mordred, as you leave the Ziggurat, when you open your eyes after that, those feelings of being in the woods and the future, as you open your eyes, you see a very strange sight. Under your feet, you feel stone, but it's damp and sticky with blood. Around you, great scraps of metal, sheer and sharp, stand out of the ground like splintered bone. On a raised platform in front of you, you see an anvil with a deep, fleshy wound on its surface that seeps blood out, that spills over the floors like an oncoming tide, lapping at your feet and soaking up. High in the sky, you see a great dragon, golden scales as she flaps her wings trying to fly, but no matter how much she does, she still falls closer to you. Faster and faster before she crashes down into the earth, breaking apart as bones and sinew from her turn into trees and a forest around you. You see one particular tree, tall above you, a branch reaching over and a noose hanging from it. Through the noose, the sky and moon eclipse in the sky as you see 10,000 crows circling about it, all chanting blood, blood, blood.
It's a happy addition to your story.
We're all fucked.
Darian, we last saw you way back in Aronia, thank you. You had headed off, you were helping Bigby with the investigation, you went to look into some things. Darian vanished. You don't quite remember what has happened. You were heading through town, got up to your own business, bit of downtime, that sort of thing. And then as you're walking along the street, you see to the right of you this strange, almost like a mirage you'd seen in the desert, this trick of light. But instead of being these soft, angular leaves, it's sharp and sunny. What do you do?
Can I try to do, like, I don't know, whatever the equivalent of, like, an arcana check on this thing?
Yeah, you can tell me what you want, I'll tell you what the skills are. You want to try to see if it's magic?
I'm almost certain, like, inside my brain it's magical, so I'm trying to discover, like, what school of magic it might be from, or, like...
give us an arcana check. Or you can do arcana, nature, religion, or whatever. Occultist, whichever one you like.
27.
Oh, wow. That's pretty damn good.
I'm going to kind of do
27... 27 is enough to actually fully understand what this is. Okay. You recognize this as being a similar sort of magic to the mirror that your friends found. And you were talking about in the office of Hyde a while ago. They found this mirror, Hyde used it to talk with I think he called her the backwards woman. You recognize this as a similar sort of magic. If you want to, you could activate this. We're not entirely. And in fact, sorry, with 27, you understand what I'll do. If you activate this, you will teleport somewhere.
I'm absolutely activating.
You reach forward, and the crack widens around you, engulfs you on the other side. You are tumbling. It's dark generally, and then what almost look like stars, you see little pinpoints of light. And if you focus on them, you can actually look through and get large enough to see from the other side. There are hundreds of them.
So they're like doorways to
They
different
look,
locations
they look
around
like stars. Look
places.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them you see are several
Like
of
the
them
light.
close together, all show the same way. Give me a just blind luck check. See what random glimpses you get from these things as you fall.
17.
17. That's pretty good.
I'm rolling well tonight.
Yeah.
Astarian, man. Like,
Yeah, alright. You see a couple of things that seem to be of note. You see the inside of what looks to be a ship, maybe. There's wooden hulls, there's the sound of creaking sands. You see a man with a mustache and a bright red coat, a hook for a hand, looking in, who sees you and gives almost a cheeky smile, like he knows a joke you don't. And then you see he looks away.
That's ominous.
You see a dark room, fires on the walls, low light. You see a very tall woman in a dark cloak, veil over her face. The air is thick and still around her. You see gold adorning the outside of this doorway. You see she looks with a great seriousness as she's considering something, but you don't know quite what. And the last one I'll give you with that 17. You see a small cottage in the woods, and an old woman, curled grey hair, very large hooked nose, lots of layers, shawls, slowly cooking at a fire, stirring the stew as she looks into this.
doesn't look gingerbready.
Doesn't look gingerbread, no, but looks old, still, musty, the sort of place that you would have visited as a child, or a friend of your grandparents, that sort of thing. You continue falling. You then hear, coming from nearby you, "You there! Hold still! I'm coming!" As you then see a muscular old orc, salt and pepper moustache, green leather armor, like diving at you through the air at quite some speed. As you see, he yells out, "Grace!" Can you give me a reflex saving throw?
There it is. 17.
17, you see, he is going in. 17 is enough. If you want to, you can get out of his way so he doesn't hit you, or you can like grab hold of him and you'll be falling together instead of apart, whatever this place is.
With my like flailing arms, I'm going to grab him,
You two,
hold on tight,
Mhm.
as well. Like I don't know, I'm imagining like Doctor Who falling through a void, like
very
grabbing
much,
onto
you're
someone.
just falling. You're not quite sure where he's gone from. There's these doors all around the place, flashes of different colours of
Yeah.
light. You two spin, and you see he says, "There's our exit!" As you see, he kicks his legs out. He seems practiced at this, changing your direction, and he lets you go heading towards it, and then follows through himself.
He follows through.
Follows through himself as you tumble out. You hit what looked like a clear door, but as you hit it, hear the smashing of glass. You black out. The glass, sounds of glass changes. You hear the sounds of sand on the wind, sand beneath you as you open your eyes.
So is there like an ocean smell? Like,
Doesn't smell ocean, smells desert,
Smells
smells dry everywhere. But it's not hot, it's quite cool, it's almost pleasant.
is it like day, night?
Twilight. It's twilight, but there's no sun anywhere on the horizon.
Okay.
Sand flying through the air on the wind like a flock of birds. You start to walk alone as there is nothing else to do in this place. And then at no point does anyone join you, but you are no longer walking alone. There's another stranger next to you, walking along. They're wrapped in cloth, but it looks more like you'd expect for the cold and the dark of somewhere north and snowy than the desert north. You see they wear a hood quite far over, and from underneath a single eye of theirs twinkles at you, the other an empty socket. As they turn to you and reassuringly put a hand on your shoulder, they stand slightly short of you. As you see, they say, all knowledge requires sacrifice. You have begun the sacrifice. Finish it, and you shall receive what you are owed. You see, quite without him leaving, as he came, he is gone, and the sand gives way beneath you. Structures coming out.
I'm guessing I would have said, what sacrifice? And it just
He's-
no longer there before I say the words, basically.
This is all happening very quickly. You see the sand starts to shake and go soft. You start to sink down in it. At the same time, things are brought up from underneath it, dragged from the depths. You see a great rusting sword falling apart, crown falling apart, a dead tree, 3 swords, 12 staves in a circle, many skulls, and an orb of black midnight, a symbol flowing at the top of it. And then glass, shards of glass just through the top as you fall through one, and you land on a pathway in the woods in front of the other 3 players. So, back in reality, you have those visions, you leave, go back, you will start to travel across the road to Salazar Glum, unless, did anyone want to do anything else while you were just in town before you get to where you're going?
Not quite.
Yeah, there's not much to do. And then as you're heading, you're greeted on the road by Darien Sand. What does Darien Sand look like? Is they've just, so you see a flash of many different lights, and then Darien falls on the ground face first. What does it look like?
He probably looks. How long's it been since
For
he went into the
you,
glass?
it's been about an hour. For them, it's been several days, maybe even a little bit.
I was also discussing this with Dave. I'm pretty sure that was the week I was away. He was
Oh,
Oh,
really?
was
I
it?
think I'm sorry.
It was 2
Okay,
days.
That's when
He's
Big
never
Me was
been.
off. Yeah.
There you go.
So I don't know where. I have no idea where it
He would be very like
You just drawing your
Like-
cane.
probably still have like sand in the hair,
Oh, yeah.
and like his rose would be like frayed at the hem or something. You know, like there'd be like signs of him being unkempt. You know, like normally he's not super well together, but also not untidy. So like he's gone more towards the bigger side, I'd say. And he'd fall out of the air and absolutely not like land nicely at all. It'd be a pile of shit on the ground.
Yeah.
He'd be waking up probably, or like getting up, brushing himself off, trying to like get the sand out of his hair, looking around, seeing you guys, and say something along the lines of, "Did I take a bad mushroom?" Or like like something along those lines.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Darren?
Yes.
Do you know this gentleman?
Yeah, he was... Where was he? He was with us briefly. He said he was trying
Signed
to
the
help.
contract.
Yeah.
Darien, you have your own copy of the contract
Yes.
as well.
It's probably in my pocket somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been dragged into this mess as well? Have you?
Yes. There was a reason, and I do remember why. But it was a long time ago. No, it wasn't actually that long ago. It was a pretty short time ago.
I'd probably be fussing over you, just like checking you've got no scars and stuff. Do you want some water? You look like you've been in a desert.
Water might be good.
Give us a medicine check.
And I would go on to, like, the core point I would explain is, in this strange turn of events, I believe I smashed through glass like a mirror, but it was real life, but it was like, he's almost incomprehensible. What he's saying is he's, like, re-explaining, like, what's happened.
Yeah.
Like, there's just bits.
And Big
Like-
Big. Yeah.
Sand
You did
and
that.
bits from
Yeah. I was in the sand, and then I was like, I saw glass, and
With him.
You see,
Oh no.
in a similar flash of light, this time not falling but standing, is an old orc, salt and pepper mustache. You recognize him as Titus Kite.
We haven't met Titus though, have we?
You did briefly, so you all came together for about 5 minutes, and then you were like, right, Big B, let's go, and marched off.
Titus was the one in
Wasn't I fighting with him and then he popped
was
out
it
and we both popped out of the chimney?
You were fighting, and the bit of mirror you were fighting over snapped, and then the
Right.
shards
Oh,
were
no.
everywhere. He vanished into it.
I'd probably put my hand
okay.
on my sword and
Yeah.
yeah.
You see he appears, you see his hands are up. Yeah, you see he says, Drummond, peace. Drummond, peace. I have been mistaken in my attitude towards him. And you see, he reaches into his back pocket and produces the shard that you two fought over, the bit that you got from the Hodsons, the Yolks.
Yeah.
And you see he says,
Thank you.
so he takes it, so he says, so he looks around for a bit, so he says, I believe we could be more use to each other as friends than enemies.
Sounds good to me.
I believe the term is frenemy.
You tried to kill our friend. Why should we trust you?
You tried to kill me. I'm willing to put it behind us.
Yeah, as much.
Occupational hazard.
Makes sense.
So have we not met?
No.
I think you did. I think during one session, because you were in that fight with Hyde. Like, remember both of you being there.
With the fight with who?
Hyde, the Jekyll. The,
Oh,
Jacob
yes, you were for that.
Yes, you were around, just not for
Sorry,
long.
my bad. Yeah, you were.
But, you know, they are an almost stranger to you.
Yeah. I don't consider myself fully part of the party yet.
Yeah.
Hey, well, we're two people down, so 2 people to replace sounds good to me.
Sounds wonderful.
Was
So he
me
looks
and
around
my
and
pets?
says, you see the orc pretty quickly gathers a pack he had with him, looks about, and goes south. My business takes me this way and points towards Golak, the way you've just come from, and says, I take it you're heading the opposite.
We are.
Good. Right, well, I'll be in touch. And then just starts jogging down the path.
No.
Can I, as he's jogging away, read fate on the guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a DC 6 flat check.
Fate, arrested.
Arrest.
Mm.
Be careful not to get into any trouble.
Gives a grunt, keeps jogging on quite quickly, heading off. He's got his own business.
So did he give you the shot?
He gives you a shot. Big deal.
Yeah. That was odd.
Right. So you are on the road together. This is not like a lot of the other paths you've seen. It's overgrown. There's roots growing through the path. There's things in the middle of it. All the other places you've been busy enough that they're clear, but nobody goes to Salazar Planet. You all know, would have been told that Daily Gotham lives along this path somewhere, and to seek her out. What are we all going to do as we're like walking along the path, heading to where we're going? Anything anyone wants to do? You've got obviously a couple of shards of the mirror. You've got that orb thing you found on the boat that was in the elf. That had all the lines and stuff open. Yeah, and that speaks. That spoke with Mordred.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else has spoken to
Oh, you
it.
still have to.
I definitely want to check that if we take a break at some point. Like if we
Yeah.
sit down.
I would be chatting about what happened to you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Just the 2 second summary.
And sharing what happened in our visions to see if, we can make sense of it. I talk about just seeing a lot of blood and a dragon and lots of crows, but
Was my thing a vision or was that just like...
It's unclear. You may, because you were teleporting on us, you might have been wherever that was. It's hard to say.
What did I get from the leprechaun again? It was like some massive fish.
oh yeah, you did.
Leprechaun, I think it's a favour.
Okay.
I'll check.
Yeah, have a look. It's either a +1 to all the flat checks, or it's a one-off favour. I don't remember which one it
I
is.
think it was a one-off favour because I remember thinking it could like bring someone back from the dead or something.
Yeah, I think it's a one-off cast.
With beware those who make a wish with a selfish heart, they
That's
find
right.
theirs stop.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, one-off wish, but if it's selfish, you might just die.
Yeah.
It's a leprechaun wish, we call it.
I love it.
Yeah, I tell Mordred. I would tell them about my visions. Lots of dead, lots of bodies, and then 3 doors. And there was a really manky apple pie behind one door, and behind the other door was the apple pie that my dad used to make. And oh no, it's beautiful. And almost almost wistful. And then behind the third door was my mother, apart from she'd got pink eyes, which
Like an
I don't
infection?
recall her having pink eyes before. She had like normal coloured eyes, but they were really pink. So she probably needs to see a doctor.
Well, my mother had pink eyes as well, so maybe it's just the thing that happens with bad mothers.
Drizella nods and thinks that's an entirely reasonable explanation.
Mordred in his head is like, oh shit, did you see my mum? But he's not going to say that.
No, the concept that all bad mothers get pink eyes, that's how you identify them, seems a logical and sensible thing.
for sure.
Drizella makes a note of that as something to maybe discuss with Madame Simone, although she's unclear of her actual qualifications because her dissertation has still been evaluated.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might discuss it back at Reims with somebody who knows stuff.
Yeah. There are people who know stuff in those.
Yes, there are. Yeah. Pink eyes, bad mothers. Is this a thing?
Wonderful. Anyone want to do anything else? Just in regards to like items you already have, or character stuff before you head off down towards the next stop? No is a very fine answer.
If Mordred would probably hang back at the back of the group for a little bit and take another look at the orb.
Yeah, for sure.
Very Pippin, drawn to the lantern.
You sealed it away in this locked metal chest, which stopped all the strange things from it. As you crack it open, the shadows on the trees around either side of the path and the stretch over the path just seem to get more intense and a little bit closer towards you. The air grows a little intense. This small, not quite perfectly circular, but round, dark orb. There's strange vine tendrils around it as it sits in this small metal chest.
Is the orb from the elf?
The orb from the elf. So the elf had vines and stuff going through them. Kept paying something.
Do you do this in secret or?
Oh, I'm kind of hanging back a little bit, but I'm probably looking really suspicious.
Yeah. I would say it's probably pretty hard to do that.
Stealthily.
I go, I don't know how that works, but if it doesn't look great and it didn't do the elf any good. Once you removed it, he was very, very dead. So I would be careful. And then she just carries on. If Mordred wants to mess with the vine thing, then,
Maybe the elf was already dead.
Yeah.
Brought him back to life.
Maybe.
Seems like
I autopsied the elf. I autopsied the elf.
You did autopsy the elf.
Do I think that this orb was this a pre or post mortem orb?
Pre-mortem.
I say that.
You do not think this orb did any favours.
Okay.
It was probably like animating it near the end.
Yes. I go.
No religion check necessary. It's
I examined that elf. The elf was well and truly alive and probably in better health when that orb got put in. It was the orb that killed him. Yet kept him going.
Open or closed as this conversation's
I mean, would you say this while I've still got it open?
Yeah, I've turned around to you and gone, what the fuck? Be careful. And then when, that was bad to the elf and then Bixby's gone. Yeah, I would carry that.
As you lean over, you both hear the word
Wait, what is this thing again?
We
Taunting
found
me?
there's this orb that there was this blighted elf who had vines
easy
growing out of
done.
them, and we took the orb.
Can
it
I
had an orb inserted just below its heart in its chest. A terrible
can I
wound.
attempt to identify this item?
Absolutely, yeah. No one could manage it, but you give it a go. Arcana, occultism,
And I
nature.
do have my assured identification thing.
You sure do, and it does count as a magic item, so this is up your alley.
So
Arcana, nature, occultism, religion. You can use any of those.
I'm going to use Arcana.
Wonderful.
It is going to be 26.
26.
And because of my feety thingy, basically a crit failure gets a failure, and if I would misidentify a cursed item because I roll a success but not critical
You
success,
just
I simply
sign it
can't
as
identify it. Yeah.
So it is cursed.
Mhm.
In the sense
I
that
could
if
have
you
told
were
you
to attune to this, you could not willingly unattune to
Okay.
If you were to allow this to take hold of you, it would be very difficult to part from it.
Yeah.
26. So mechanically you fail, but you still learn a bit. This is an intelligent item, but it's not essential. There is part of an intelligence present, but only part of it. You sense that it is an intelligence that waxes and wanes. So imagine that this will be, at some times, this will be more active and present than others. It's cursed. It's primordial magic, druidic magic, not arcane.
Well,
I think I'd got it was primordial.
You had already.
I will
that's what you
explain
will
this
say.
to the party and just say, when this person died, was there anything specific about that night? Was the full moon, like...
It saw itself in a mirror while it was
mirror.
trying to come through a door.
So perhaps that's the waxing and waning thing, is the mirror. Don't show it a mirror.
I will also remind you that you know that this elf got infected with this the same night you were in the tomb of the Horned King.
Yes.
Oh, I did not remember that.
You did, so the timelines matched up. The elf got infected about 2 weeks before you met them, which was around the same time you were in the Horned King.
So anyway, I tell Darian about the elf. I tell him about the barnacles and the mumbling and the pull on. If you sit there and listen to his raving.
Is the box still open?
When it said weak, I was like,
Close that.
You
You see
could.
the shadows slink back.
It would. There were words. There were words caught up in the rambling and the monologue and this glowing orb in his chest. Anyway, he got out, went on the rampage, and looked at himself in a mirror and died.
Mirrors seem pretty fucked up in this area.
I also talked to it, and it spoke about.
You did what?
I just wanted to take a look at it, and
What did you go? Barnacle, Raven.
no, it spoke to me. It asked my name, and it said it wanted something in my blood.
It lives really nicely next to the big blood vessels next to your heart. That's kind of how it works.
It also talked about Arcadia.
Okay.
It
What's that?
seemed
I will also notice, because it's been a bit since we've done all that stuff. Arcadia, you remember, is the old island and stronghold of the Horned King.
Oh, yes, of course.
You spoke to Dean Maricosa about, who was
Yes.
there at the fall of Arcadia long ago
Yeah.
when the Who's Who Evergreen all teamed up and took
when we saw like Merlin
Yes.
taking the sun from the sky and telling it. Yeah.
Merlin, the Gold Dragon, Thrune, Titania, Mab, all
So what happened to Arcadia? Is it just
It
like
sank.
abandoned now? Or
It was an island with a tree the size of Krakatoa.
Yeah.
And the whole thing just sunk into the ocean again.
Okay.
Did the tree fall over or it just sank?
Sank.
Oh wow.
When I saw the vision
Pretty dead.
from the orb gave me a vision of a great tree falling into the water and cracking. I don't know if it's connected to the Horned King, but I'm afraid it might be.
Probably. What if it's still there?
Maybe.
Deep out in the ocean.
Maybe this is a seed.
It's certainly the elf was largely a nearly dead vine growing through him and from him, just turning into a tree, or at least a knot of vegetation of some kind. I would personally suggest you keep the lid on the box, but
Got a lock for it?
Yes.
Okay,
it
fine.
worries me that you are so keen to look at it.
I'll keep it locked for now. I promise.
For now. Okay.
We might need it.
It's fine. If it eats you, I know how to kill you. It's all fine.
Jesus.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll close it up and then wrap it in some cloth and a sleeping bag and put it in my bag.
Wonderful.
Have we got something else wrapped up in cloth and
You
hidden
do.
away?
So that's the shard of the
Shards
mirror.
That's the mirror.
That's the
We've
one
got
that,
loads of stuff just wrapped up.
That one you can talk to as well.
Yeah, we've got loads of sentient shit wrapped up in cloth.
So we've got, I think, we've got 3 different shards.
You got
the
3
one
different
big
yeah.
one,
ones,
the
2
small,
together that Drizella has,
Yeah.
and then you've got the one that
the small bit, which split in half, which now I've got 2 halves.
I've got the one with 2 pieces currently, so I think you've got the
So
other.
I've got the
And so you actually got 4 because you also picked up one on Hook's ship.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yes.
Yeah, that's right. We did too.
What you also know about these is that you can break its glass. You can just break it, and also if you put it
I'm gonna
together,
get
they just
Ultimate.
form together. Even if
Oh,
the
okay.
pieces wouldn't usually line up, they just form together.
Yep.
To use the mirror, you need to be somewhere dark-ish, light a candle, and say the name of whoever you want to talk to. 3
Bloody
times.
Mary, Bloody Mary.
You've only used it to talk to Bloody Mary so far.
Oh, so we could try and use it to talk to other people.
So when you used it in that ritual, you were asked, with whom do you wish to speak?
Oh.
The notes you got from Jacob Hilton seemed like he was only talking to Mary, but it's unclear who else you could talk to.
Okay.
Ooh, that's fun.
I wonder if there's anyone good that we could talk to.
Rumpelstiltskin.
You're in the forest. You could give it a try if you wanted to. If you head off into the forest, it would be dark enough to try it.
I feel like it's deeply cursed doing this in the
I'm
middle.
a bit nervous for that. Yeah, let's do it like side by side.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You continue along the path. After a little while, you start to hear the noise of people working a little way ahead. You hear probably cutting wood, hacking trees.
So we're getting close to civilization.
Yeah, you think so.
We think so.
Sounds like it.
Map-wise, where are we? Oh, so
Likewise, you are just here, so you're on the road between Go Back and Salazar Glum. You're in the fane of Karathungal, the kingdom of Karathungal, which is towards the southeastern part
and
of Ireland.
the Irons place where I was last time, where's that?
That was here, was Aronia.
Okay,
That was Reims, the university.
Yeah.
And then Lomarsh up here was where we all started.
okay, so I'm on like...
So Salazar Glum's like where we needed to get to.
Yeah.
That's where the
So
stuff
we
is.
need
We're
to
almost there, yeah.
We're nearly there.
We're so
Wow.
close.
I thought that was going to take longer than that.
You continue
I
along.
think because we hijacked
You
a trip on Hook's ship.
that did help a lot.
Oh yeah, that dropped us pretty much.
That did drop you quite a way. You come along. You see about half a dozen people, all in a matching uniform. What looks to be doing some work. They're clearing stuff from the path. All of them have axes. They're hacking at wood. They're cutting stuff back. You see the one who looks to be in charge is an orcish woman. She's got a bow on her back that's quite large. She seems wearing plate armor, quite a bit more heavily armored than the rest of them, and is just offering some general direction of how to go about cutting them down. Nothing too big. So they don't seem to pay much mind. She kind of gives you a wave and says, "John, get out of the way. Get some room for them." And they take the steps, and you can sneak on past them if you want.
Thank you very
You can
much.
stop and have a chat if you want. You can just go past.
I'll say hi. I'll say, hi there, I'm Mordred.
You see, she says, "Hi, Mordred, Pathkeeper Rourke." Holds out a very strong hand, calloused.
Is this the way to Salazar Glum?
You see, she gives a solemn nod and says, "Indeed, it's just down the end of the path. It's not far now. We're just keeping these open. Not a lot of people come through these days." He gestures to the road. It's quite overgrown. It's not
How
just...
quickly does it grow over?
You see, she says, "Faster than you'd expect. We've been clearing it once a week, and that's been keeping us good work.
Sheesh.
It's magical in nature."
Fair.
So in other words, don't leave the path.
You see, she nods because she says, "Do any of you have much experience traveling the woods?"
Not particularly.
More than most.
And you see, she nods and she says, "The woods are not like the clearings. Distance and direction there are optional. What makes this path difficult to clear is that not enough travel for it to stay connected. The path doesn't want to exist."
Is this unusual for paths?
No, this is what happens when people don't travel the ways. That's why not a lot of paths stay open. Salazar Glum still gets some business from Piccadilly, but for the most part, it's been with the new management and all, somewhat quiet.
What's been happening?
She says, "Oh, the new king there doesn't feel trade with Go Back is beneficial. Some personal insult or some such, I am involved in the politics." So she says, "But keep clear of the path, and remember, if it's overgrown, though it may look like a few steps to find it again, it may take you many miles. Always best to tie a piece of string or something physical. Ground yourself to the ground.
Thank you for the advice. Stay safe out here.
And you. And kind of stands back up, grabs back an axe, and heads off, and they'll see them all just chopping and clearing, attempting to clear this path. As you go for the other side, it's much more clear, smooth sailing as you continue along.
I'll tie a rope around my waist and say, anyone else?
I'll just say to the Nightshade, grab it.
Grab it!
I hold the rope.
What do we hold the rope for?
Good question.
They said to keep grounded to the...
Yeah, if you're in the woods.
Oh! Mordred's like, we are in the woods.
You continue. The path is
keeps
about
you happy,
2-3 people.
So, on this rope between you two, Nightshade's just swinging.
Cute.
I let Aldemit out to just try and whack.
Just scuttling along the rope.
Trying to whack Nightshade every now and then.
That's fantastic. I love it. It's disembodied hands. You will continue along until eventually you see the main road continues forward, but there is a smaller trail off to the right. And you can see, after about 100 metres or so of this trail, there is a beautiful cottage. Vine-covered flowers grow along all the walls. It's a small clearing, about the size of like a school oval or something. There's a little creek that runs through it. Beautiful beams of sunlight coming down.
Now I know how you felt when you got to the sheep farm. Like,
front porch all along,
it's so lovely.
of which there's a rocking chair and several other seats around a table with a full with what looks like lots of stuff on the table. Can't tell from this distance. And you see a figure, an old woman in the rocking chair, who, as you are over at the end there, waves at you.
Does it remind me of my vision of the
Beckons
bushes?
you. It does not. This is a different place. The one you saw was overgrown with
Yeah, it
thickets.
was very
It
like
was dark as
dark
night.
and
There were
dingy,
enormous trees, 10 times taller than anything here. A fog rolled about. Crows sat on the roof. Whereas this place is lovely and light and airy. You see this old woman beckoning you over from this part of the ways away.
They seem friendly.
Is this off the path?
No, there's a path. It's
To
sort
the
of
house.
off the main road. It's a thin little kind of like a game trail, but it's definitely a path that leads to this little clearing.
And we should just keep going with ourselves. Like, well, it seems dodgy.
But Sibylla told us that there was a witch in the woods that we could visit.
She indeed.
Looks pretty witchy to me.
she is in the woods.
And she's
see,
in the
I don't know
woods.
any magic though, so I'm always nervous about it.
You see Bigby in your head. You hear, I understand your caution, Joseph, but there is no need to be frightened.
That was so reassuring.
Take refreshments, if you will.
So reassuring.
Okay.
I know who you are.
Drizella, you hear in your head,
Yeah, I'm
daughter
pretty sure I know who
of the
this is.
Lady Tremaine, there is much here you should hear. Come, sit. Take refreshments, if you will. Darian, you hear, son of the desert. Come, sit. Take refreshments, if you will. And Mordred, you don't hear him.
Oh.
Sorry.
Rejected.
Oh.
No,
Mordred's
Mordred
like-
is the only one who's saying, let's go check it out.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
I will go and seek refreshments.
You start heading down the path.
I'll say that.
As you continue towards the path,
Things out.
you see that the woman sitting on the front veranda is this very old woman.
Yeah,
Great
definitely looks
bent nose, pointy ears, curling grey hair, big earrings, headband, lots of shawls. Darian, you recognise her as the one at the cooking pot from one of those doors you saw in the place.
The cooking pot.
You see, she stays sat in her rocking chair.
Remind
Everyone,
me what the cooking pot. Do I remember what? Can I
Seemed to
recall
have
knowledge? on
stew of
the
some
pot? It
sort of
wasn't like
food.
anything.
Food's nearly
you
here.
can give me a recall knowledge check. Yeah, that's probably crafting the food.
That's 14.
14. Look meaty.
Oh,
It was a
no.
meat stew.
Meat stew of some kind. There's maybe carrot in there.
Okay.
Mm.
I don't mind a meat
Could
stew.
And we will probably wait for dinner.
Lovely place to break for dinner.
Mm. And I'd actually say, as you get close, she introduces herself as Dame Gothel.
Yeah.
Dang.
Gothel.
Come, sit. My name is Dame Gothel. Mother Gothel, if you would like. So long has it been since I held the title.
Do we know anything about her?
Probably. Anyone who wants to give me an occultism check,
Can I hag law?
you absolutely can have.
20.
24.
2024. You would have read in histories. You would have been taught this by your mother. Dame Gothel was the old All Mother. She was the head of the Kruthic Covens. Very important. So the Kruthic Covens are they're hags and witches, but they're also like courtesans and advisors and diplomats.
So they were like spread throughout the world.
All
like,
throughout the world.
influencing
Everyone
politics
has
and everything.
a member of the coven in their glade to deal with Fae's shit, basically.
Okay.
And they all connect. They've got 3 ranks: sister, mother, grandmother, and then above all of them sits the All Mother, the Grand Witch, if you like.
And she used to be the All Mother.
She was the All Mother about 80 years ago. She died quite unexpectedly, and there was a succession crisis for nearly a decade. The haggish succession crisis.
She died.
She
but
died.
she's alive.
Yes, you have read many books. You've read 4 different history accounts, all of which say she died.
And none have recounted that she resurrected or anything. So
No.
this is very shocking to
Yeah.
learn that
So
she's
for the All Mother to die at the age, so she died of old age, which is about the only thing you can't be resurrected from. Even a 10th level resurrection spell won't bring
Can
back
I-
someone who died of old age.
what's the equivalent to like a lie cheat or something like that?
You want to lie to her?
No. I want to know if she lied when she
Oh,
said her name.
you want to do a perception check. You want to sense that.
That's 26.
26. We'll resolve that later. The other thing that would be important with that check, and then we'll eat,
It's Dame
is
Gothel. And she's meant to be dead.
the. I'll tell you about that. The other thing I wanted to remind everyone of is your plot points that you've got. These,
Oh, I need to give you some.
cards. You can use them to retcon something, or you can use them for I know a guy. So you announce, oh, I know someone who can help clear this problem. Or
I'll get you
might
some
be,
for
I know
next week.
someone in this place. We're about to this.
I think I got given one. No.
Maybe.
You should have 3 or 4.
But you have to. Because
Yeah. Anyway, you can cash them in 1 use each. You get
you
one
need the
each,
prints.
so you have
I'll make some new
4.
prints.
We're looking like Everton Parkway or what's the place Cannon Hill way as well?
So
Yeah, there's a name.
you
listed
sit.
somewhere.
Do you all sit?
Yeah.
Love it.
What's at the table?
You take it. You see an immaculate tea set, a large, tall, metal, like brass teapot, many little fine china cups, a
Twists,
pot for
actually.
milk, a little thing of butter and a plate of scones, a thing of sugar, lots of spoons. You see Dame Gothel or Mother Gothel sits on the rocking chair, just back and forward constantly. You see flying and sitting on the handrail of the balcony 2 doves. One comes in first and then a little while the other.
That's clearly a good sign, right? Doves.
The other thing with that occultism check from earlier, the Eye of Ogma that you all did earlier, you would know, and when they told you about, we found this weird eye thing. Oh, you were there for the eye.
You were there.
I was there.
Yeah.
I held it.
Yeah, he
You
was the
held
one
it,
who
that's
ran
right.
away with it.
You recall that was lost when Dame Gothel died. That was last seen when she died, and it came back, and now she's back. Or possibly they came back again. Whether that's connected or not, you don't know, but interesting.
What
Relevant.
this inside check? Did we resolve that?
Insight check. You think this person has a warmth to them. They don't just look like pleased to see you, they look relieved that you're here. They seem very earnest. There is a glowing energy to this person. Doves around, there's butterflies flying. These plants seem to be flowering more than you'd expect. Sun is coming in despite you being in, a cloudy day. A peace washes over you as you sit at this table. Not in a charm sort of way, but in a genuine, like you've just come home. It's a beautiful, relaxing feeling. You feel
So-
very calm, you feel safe, but not in a like they're trying to charm you way. In a genuine, this is good.
My entire persona will relax
Mm.
when I understand this, but can I also have some knowledge about because we know about this group that she was the leader of.
Yeah, the Pruthic Covenant.
What generally were their goals, and how well liked are they globally? Like,
So-
are they generally like really?
They
are
claim to
regarded,
be
or-
for the general good, but they do also serve their own designs.
Mhm.
So they are advisors, is their like official capacity. They would advise lords and that. They work with the Fae. They're like the connection between the Fae and the woods and the clearings and people who live there. They're essential, is what they are. They're necessary. People who try to go without involving the covens generally just have unexplainable bad Fae magic happen to them. They can't resolve, and then they either ask for help or they die.
Okay.
So they're very powerful. They're very old. They kind of exist in a place where they've got so many non-aggression agreements with everyone else that they don't take sides in wars. They very much advise, and that's about it.
So they're
The
generally
fish-
neutral.
they are aggressively neutral and try very hard to be
Yeah.
perceived as neutral. They're probably
Do they ever like? Are they like? I guess they're not druids, but like, are they like
the witches.
very pro nature and keeping, like, avoiding the expansion of clearings and those sorts of things, or do they just like
They
let
wouldn't
people
be
do what
against
they
it. They would tell you how to do it without angering the Fae.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they tell the Fae, hey, you should get out of here because this is happening.
Okay.
They play all sides.
They play all sides, they play no sides. Sometimes both simultaneously, which is really impressive. So it's absolutely
My brain feels like it's working tonight. It's good.
That's good.
I'm like a real
Can I have some of that?
Oh, the last month has been fun. I'm like, what brain?
Can I try and make an impression?
you have 10 minutes first.
Oh,
Unless you have the hobnob fix.
As we sit down, can I just say, or as you're saying your name and sitting down along those lines, I'll just be like, oh, so and so. I haven't heard that name for a while. How's things?
Yusushi says, yes, they tell me I died, but I have been permitted to return. Yusushi looks at Yusushi and says, there is much to discuss, but first there is a much more important matter. Cream and sugar? Milk? Honey? Rose petals?
Cream and honey with rose petals.
So she claps like, and you see a cup walks its way towards you. The little one of it wiggling around. You see then when the saucepan of milk comes over, pours into the pot, lifts through the air, pours.
I make a strong note of thanking the pot.
The pot politely nods back to you, moves over to you, Big B.
Black one sugar, please.
Pours for you. The sugar comes over. You see the sugar has a spoon slung over its shoulder, sort of thing. Pours you a thing. Walks over back, stands at attention. Pot comes over to Mordred.
I'll ask her. I say, do you have any briar tea?
You see, she says, I'm afraid it disagrees with my stomach these days. Not many stop that. Was that a favourite of your mother?
It was, yeah.
Yes. I thought as much. I keep it in the kitchen. And you see, she slowly starts getting. She goes, oh.
Don't trouble yourself. I'll just have milk with some sugar.
She says, no, it's fine. I was going to ask them out later, but now it's as good a time as any. And you see, she kind of waves, and you see someone moving inside the house. You see a woman in a sort of like a nun's habit, almost with a veil, fully covered, gloves, everything. Walks out, carrying what looks to be something covered in a cloth. As you see, Gothic then goes, no, not yet. The briar tea, please. And the figure returns in the house and comes out with some dried briar tea and a pot tea.
Can I do a perception check on like this bundle?
Yeah.
For sure.
Size, shape.
Yeah, give us a perception check.
Quick
So they
direct
carry it
check.
in 2 hands. It looks heavy.
Could I also have something?
And you see, as the figure brings out the tea, Gothic says, "Thank
That would be
you."
better than mine.
That's 6. We'll introduce you shortly.
20.
Also 20.
20. Sword.
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 Or sword adjacent. but yeah, looks long bit, studied bit, suit.
Yeah.
Six. We'll introduce you in just a moment. Now, my name is Dame Gothel, or Mother Gothel, if you like. I do know all your names, but you may introduce yourself if it makes you feel more comfortable.
I'm Mordred.
Hello, Mordred. It's good to finally meet you.
I don't need to waste the time if you know my name.
Very well.
I just look at what I call Nightshade, and Nightshade just goes, "I'm Nightshade."
A pleasure to meet you, Nightshade. And Gisela?
You know who I am.
I do. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It is interesting meeting you two.
I understand you are heading to Salazar Glum. You have signed a contract with the one going by Cadwallader. Yes?
Yes.
Good. That's about the extent of my knowledge in that matter. Might I ask, if you're willing, what brings you to Salazar Glum?
If you answer us a question first.
That is more than fair. Information for information, the oldest trade made in these woods. I would honour it.
For what reason were you allowed to return?
For
what purpose?
I was hoping to get to that later, but now is as good a time as any. You have met, I think, Nimue.
We have.
She has strayed from her path as keeper and watcher. I have been asked to relieve her of her duties till the time as she is healed again.
I see.
And may I ask, what brings you to Salazar Glum?
Can you remind? Do you have a copy of the contract?
I do indeed.
I just want to make sure I'm not breaking the contract by saying
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I'm pretty sure it doesn't say it.
Like,
Yeah.
how many butter
Are we
breads does she give
allowed
us?
to
Yeah.
talk about the contract? I assume
think
we
so.
are.
Oh, we are.
Supplemental statements, addendums, provisos. I believe that is all in order. That's not the signed version, that one's floating around somewhere else, but that has all the information.
I think I have the side one. No.
I think it's not in the book, it's in here. It's somewhere about.
I'd probably say contract permitting. We're seeking 3 items:
Mhm.
a staff,
Mm,
a looking glass,
yes,
and a ring.
yes. I was hoping so. Do you know who currently has these items?
We've been informed it's that guy.
Yes. Carlos Villar. Big B would know that.
Yeah.
So they say, yes. Might I ask, how are you planning to recover the items from Carlos?
We're going to try and survey the area and get a bit of information first before we plan a plan. So at this stage, I don't know anything about him or the area, so.
Understandable. If you would like, I would be more than willing to help you retrieve these items in exchange for one of them. I would like my ring.
It's your ring.
In a manner of speaking. I drew up the plans for the spell that sits upon it when I was, well, long ago, and though I did not cast the spell on this particular ring, it is of my design, and I would not wish to see harm done from something I created. I would like it back, keep it in safe.
Can I do a vibe check?
Yeah.
Perception. You can also do, if you like,
Nope.
occultism or arcana.
Nope.
Who's
see
the
if that
silver
makes
lady in
sense. Silver Lady is an epithet for
Queen Maeve.
Queen Maeve of Avalon. Big kingdom to the north. Been at war with Camelot for years.
That's a 6.
That's a 6.
Oh, sorry, an
29.
8 with.
Perception. 29.
You haven't got Forest. You think that makes sense? Yeah, I suppose. if
20.
I'd made a thing, I'd want it.
29.
29. You think that they're being a little bit euphemistic in saying, like, keep it from safe hands.
Yeah.
You think they probably want to destroy it or lock it away, or
Yep.
you don't think they're malicious necessarily, but you think they very much just want to, like, get rid of this thing.
Okay.
Almost in the tone of, like, hey, I left a file on my computer, can you just delete that for me? Almost in the tone of, like, this is a bit of a fuck up I've done, can you help me?
Well, of course we'll help you with. You're the one who made it.
Yeah, but we can't break the contract. We don't know what's going to happen if we do.
Contract law is not my speciality, but as I understand it, you are paid per item. You simply cannot deliver one of them.
Oh, okay.
I message into her head.
Mhm.
What exactly is the urgent need to lock this thing away, shut it down, so to speak?
So she says, once Carlos figures out how to remove the safeguard that the university placed on it, they will be able to create themselves an army.
Oh,
A small. So this is message.
What
So
kind
you
of
don't know that. So a small.
An army of animated objects, people made from weapons.
A small error on your part, then.
My goals are different now than they were. I find myself unable to follow of the past.
Interesting. Fair.
She's totally getting off the line.
You see, she says, I would be willing to provide you with a great deal of aid if you are willing to do your best to recover the ring, and I would require nothing more than you to simply say that you promise. I would not make you sign or such things. Yeah, David.
I would like to ask what the ring of objectification's visage is, because it is unknown to our employer.
You see, she says, yes, I thought as much. Unlike the other items, that one was made by someone outside of Cadwallader's understanding. He cannot see it like others can. It appears as a plain gold wedding band, from what I understand. You see, she minor illusions, a very simple, unstyled gold.
Can you tell us anything about Cadwallader?
It's not going to be difficult to find a plain gold ring.
I know I would not trust him.
I mean, his face, of course.
He's
Well,
not
he's not-
fair.
Oh no, he's not. No.
No,
Not
he's,
true fair. Anyway.
He's fiendish,
Ooh.
isn't he?
He's working for the
Perhaps.
favor. He's working for me.
As the ring is outside of his sight, so he is outside of mine.
Well, if
And
giving
the
the
ring
ring,
turns people into inanimate objects, not just into.
Indeed.
So I'm guessing you want to use the ring on your friend.
You see, glances at her and says, no, her business is entirely different. I simply am hoping to keep this ring out of the wrong hands.
if it's to prevent harm coming to more people,
Indeed.
of course we'll help.
I appreciate it.
And
We're
provide
dedicated
you-
to
provide
preventing
us
harm.
With more cream and honey and tea
You
in
see,
the
as you
future.
say that, the cream walks over, the honey walks over. the
It is
tea
very
walks over.
delicious. Thank you. Mr.
Thank
Teapot.
you. I shall pass that on to the bees and flowers. They
Aw,
work very hard.
Mhm.
she's so nice.
So what's the relationship between witches and druids? Is there none, or
Totally the same thing that is between wizards and druids. Totally different style of magic.
Okay.
So there's 4 types of magic in Pathfinder: arcane, wizards, primordial, druids, occult, witches, divine, clerics.
But in terms of like talking to animals and plants and those sorts of things?
I think it's more that like that's kind of druids' job. Witches can do it if they want
Okay.
to. Witches have like animal servants. Druids are friends with animals.
Got it.
So like you see the doves over here. She doesn't talk to them. She kind of waves a hand, casts a spell, and then one flies off. Which was a druid would just speak dove.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do we think?
And if you prefer, we can continue our exchange of information before you decide. I would not wish to hold you to anything.
You say the ring is not within the sight of Cadwallader. Is it within yours?
You know, in a means, yes. I know not where it is, but I know what it is.
A plain gold wedding band.
And how would we
It
know
will be
it is
worn
the right?
on his person. He would not part with it, I think. It
Yeah.
holds great import to his plans.
What are his plans?
Oh, the world. He serves the Silver Heart Court, you see.
Does that name ring
Yeah.
out for any of us?
Society check.
I like
Oh, look,
playing
another
intelligent
2
It's good fun.
for a total of 2.
Oh, 4.
4.
character.
Total of 4.
27.
You
Oh,
come across the Hogsons are also in the Silver Heart Court.
Oh,
You
no.
have got no sense. So the Silver Heart Court is an alliance. It might be real, it might not be. You, with 27, and with your experience, you probably believe it to be real. You've got enough evidence that it exists, but the general consensus would be like, maybe it's real, maybe it's an idea.
Is it like the Illuminati?
It's a little bit like the Illuminati. It's an idea of if the right people can just form an alliance, they could just take over Arnhem.
Yeah.
So you know the Hogsons are involved. You know that there are factions of merchants in Bricks, which is where the Hogsons lived, who are involved and far
it's
afield.
like Masons.
Yeah.
It's probably more Masons
Yeah,
than
okay.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
You're a 27.
We could just mobilise and
You
take over the
suspect
world
the
with our
Queen
funny
Maid.
handshakes.
Oh, okay.
So Queen Maeve, Arnhem-Land, the Hogsons, but in fact, let me just
Wait, Queen Wade's part of it?
suspected. It's all
Silver Lady, Silver Heart.
Silver Lady.
Is it pretty much everyone's been suspected at some point of being part of it, but none of it's actually real?
Kind of. It's very in the shadows. So
It's a conspiracy.
obviously, Bricks over here
mystery
is the
for you.
Hogsons, and then
This
Maeve is up
is
here.
the mystery of my entire life.
You've got a little string ball.
Yeah,
You would have known that a couple of years ago, someone called Frogarth the Cunning challenged the High King of Mercia, which is over here, to single combat, killed him using magic, very unheard of, not the tradition, and is currently in charge of Mercia technically. But that, it's not allowed, but it's kind of like, usually you'd have the respect to kill them with your fists.
Yeah.
Frogarth,
Like
small,
a sneaky
wise
fool.
kind of guy, sneaky, quick, cast a spell, fight anyone style. Took over Mercia. So that's the kind of bare bones you would understand. It's like, maybe he's involved, he's up here, Bricks, Mercia, and then Camelot and this is a little unsure. Some think the Red Hand is in on it, some you don't know.
Okay.
So it's all very unclear. You have like scraps of letters about plans of this sort of thing.
I feel like for this campaign, was it Randor that we had, or was it Stormbound that we had the conjecture book?
I think that was Rand. I think both of them had conjecture books.
But I feel like for this one, we need like an extra planar board full of like
We
strings.
should get an
and-
actual board.
A corkboard.
I do have a cork board that I use for doing murder mystery games.
It's all going to lead to Memphis Cadwallader in the middle.
Absolutely, yeah. He's like the center point.
The one whispering in the ears.
But,
Price of honey increasing in Mercia. Memphis Cadwallader.
But yeah,
And
it just
Memphis
is
Cadwallader?
that sort of stuff. It's like, we'll buy up all the beehives and we'll get a monopoly on honey, and then we'll get the mead trade. Plans within bullshit.
You finally understand his real name, and it's Xanos.
That's fine. But yeah, so you see.
It's an inter-universal.
He actually got shattered across.
I've always kind of wanted to do that. I just don't know how to do it. But yeah, so you see Mother Gothel, or Dame Gothel, says, I suspect he is part of the Silver Heart. And then I'm going to assume Jesse Bigby explains what that is for everyone else. Well, you don't need to.
That sounds dangerous.
It's a global conspiracy.
Okay. I imagine the beard grows a little bit.
This is why everyone is poor.
When when you get the ring, when we
Assume
bring the
people
ring
really
back,
bad.
does it need to be
Like,
separate
dead people, the
from
whole
the
people
finger
are dead?
that is currently
The
wearing it?
Holskins, yeah.
That is
Okay.
the
Well,
They're
other.
evil capitalists.
In fact,
Perfect.
That's why I fight against them.
that is
Absolutely.
the other matter. In fact, there is another thing I think we could help with. And it turns to the other person, says, "I think now would be a good time to show them." So they pick back up the item under the
Okay.
cake. And another Gothel continues and says, Carlos Valaf, there is another reason I would see him dethroned, and I would hope you'd be willing to go that extra mile if you are here. A great injustice has been done in this place. Carlos Valaf came here, killed the king, married his daughter, and has plunged the land into despair. He takes great taxes and levies from his people and gives them very little in return. Merchants are overworked, serfs whipped daily. He is a very bad man.
Let's start a revolution.
So bad, he has allowed something to fester in his heart. A mote of darkness that could grow to consume him. An anti-seed.
Love.
An anti-seed?
An anti-seed. Usually, when you plant a seed, you watch something grow. With these, you slowly watch it die.
That's cool.
It is a physical
Good
object,
line.
a small orb of terrible energy that will grow just below his heart.
What is he watching him die?
That's why I like them.
Himself.
Do you say that? Do you say that?
And what happens
Yeah.
if he dies? Seed in his heart.
You see, she kind of shakes her head a little and says, "It is difficult." Do you say it aloud? Yeah.
Oh,
You see, she says, "Pardon?"
yeah.
I think he's just
I think
confused.
I saw someone on a ship. He was a prisoner. He had a glowing orb within
Yeah.
his chest
Yes.
and was turning to vine and
Yes.
tree.
It must have sprouted.
Yes.
What did you do with it?
Well, he died.
Yeah, yes. I imagine. He died, or
He looked in a mirror
yes.
and died.
Oh, strange. They are unpredictable in nature. They corrupt the one who they are in. They warp them and twist them, bend the soul in ways it should not be.
He talked a lot about barnacles.
What happens after they're like not in someone's body anymore?
Anti-seed come from the tree in Arcadia,
Ooh.
holding them ancient potential, dark magic. Some believe they could see the return of the horned one.
Ah.
If an anti-seed was to grow in the right person or the wrong person, it could twist them into him.
Into the Horn King himself.
Into the horned king himself. In each seed, a touch of his
Take it! I just put the box
Slam
on the
box
table.
You see she goes,
Like we, be careful.
This is very good. This is very good. We can test what I was hoping.
Okay.
In each seed is contained a small part of his essence. Not much, but a little. If it was in the wrong person, it could become a whole.
Oh no.
Now, Carlos Valak is a very cruel, twisted man. And I do not think he would become that host. But if left unchecked in 10 years, who is to say? Better he is stopped now.
How do they get all the way from Arcadia to here?
And these things do not travel. These things do not exist in this world in the same way you do. Space to them is as immaterial as light is to a candle. It can be changed. They move like the mirrors.
I have an experience with the mirrors.
Yes, I thought you might.
Yeah, what are mirrors? Are
They're quite good to track.
naturally
How do
bad
you-
or are they neutral?
Well, bad things reside in them. They are
Do good things reside in them as well?
a few, but less.
Can
Why? Sorry.
no, you go.
Like, what are some of the good things that are in mirrors?
They are hard to find, and for reasons that you will not understand, I cannot reveal them to you.
Don't eat them.
You see,
Oh,
for the
God.
first time, you see a little
God.
bit of confusion on her face, and she says, "No, I would not do. Have you partaken?"
I hope you've just given a seed in a box.
Do you say this like by message or anything?
Seed in a box.
Seed in a box.
Seed in the box. Seed in the box.
You're a bit seedy over there.
Mordred's
It's
just
like an
you have
evil
taken-
magic seed.
I may have munched the edge of a piece of mirror.
My dear, I'm truly sorry. There is
Yeah.
very little I can do about it.
Yes, I've got fuck glass eating damage.
Yes. That, I imagine, shall bear the fruit of that decision later.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mate,
It's going to come back and bite you
I
in
want
the
to be
ass.
very clear. Do not say her name, but have you spoken with her?
Can I make a
so
like
tempted.
intelligence check? What? Bloody Mary!
Silence fire. You get blah, and then silence goes everywhere.
I rolled a 3 on a intelligence.
Messages into all your heads. I'll repeat
Oh
again.
God, Evergreen
Do not
Thursday
say
is
her
just
name.
ridiculous.
this
And
is
then
fucking.
whoop,
I'm
undoes
gonna
it.
love this campaign. It's gonna be so good.
There's
Second one, like
mouse
3
traps
hours
just
to turn
sitting
the
there.
storm down.
It's gonna take 5, doesn't it?
I said it's taking like 3 hours to turn the storm down.
Yep.
Everything we play on a Thursday has the same vibe.
It's fantastic.
Let's do serious
I'm
murder
alive.
mystery.
What?
Scooby Gang.
Let's just like not use our brains deliberately.
Oh, I love it.
No, I'm using my brain.
Yeah,
So,
it's committing to the character.
Mordred's like, here's a seed in a box.
You see, she messages to all of you, do not say her name, and then takes off the silence. You have spoken to her. That is it.
Oh, I think these two do.
Be mindful what you tell her. She is very well connected.
Okay.
Good. Now, yes.
I saw an orc dude with a salt and pepper moustache when I was like flying through the like I don't know mirror roundy void thing.
Titus.
Yeah, but
He's a dear.
is there a way to like learn how to use these rifty things as a means of transport?
Come see, come Saka. You see, she says, there is, and there is not. You can use them, but you cannot use them well. They are in their nature broken. The mirror is fractured. It has been for many ages now.
Did I just randomly happen across one just by pure luck, or is it something
They do
that
not work in luck.
they appear to you
There are
in
no
times of need?
No, that is too kind. They appear to you when they want you, when they need you somewhere else. I dare
It's
say,
like the
if
threats
it
of
were-
fate being like, ah!
Yes, but they are being pulled by someone. I imagine
Oh.
she, don't say her name, wanted you here. I imagine it is in her interest
So it's
also.
not just Cadwallader
It sounds
pulling our strings and you pulling our strings. It is also she pulling our strings.
Who's
That's a lot
pulling
of string
strings?
pullers.
There's no strings on me.
There are no strings.
Mordred's like, I've got plenty of strings and brings out his embroidery
Just like
thread.
all of our contracts have no strings attached.
Ah, yes, that is how he prefers to work.
I had a vision. My mother had pink eyes. Do you know her?
Perception check?
She got pink eyes. They all got pink eyes. 18.
I don't think you'll beat it.
Oh no, yeah, 18.
Wow. Crit fail from Dame Gotham. Her eyes flick over to the person in the habit for just a moment before returning to you. As you see, she says, I suspect I understand that, yes.
Are there many people with pink eyes?
There are, to my knowledge, only a few. You know one of them.
I do.
You work for another. And yet another you will meet very soon.
What?
Mordred, I'm going to need you to be very brave.
Oh god.
Oh no, Mordred.
Morgause, I think it is time.
More gals! More gals!
You see the woman sitting with you at the table lifts
Sorry, I'm
up her veil, and it is fully your mother. But about 10, 15, 20 years older than you expect. Tireder eyes, grey through her hair, and most distinctly different of all than your mother, a soft smile on her face, kindness in her eyes, no bitterness, no judgment.
What's this?
As you see, she says, in a voice quite unlike yours, she says, I am not who you think I am. My name is Morgause. I am not your mother. Do not worry.
I'm Big Beak, nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. You see this woman looks to be maybe 45, maybe going towards 50. Little touches of grey in her hairs, crow's feet, but still looks quite young. Fair skin, tall, thin.
Have you ever mentioned your mother to us?
Yeah, you know that my mum's Morgana Le Fay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that she's a generally bad person.
She's the begot queen, the ill influence.
You see, Mother Gotham says, I think it best you tell them your story. You see, the woman who calls herself Morgause says, I'm not your mother. About
Twin sister?
25 years ago, I woke up. I was alive. I was made by Morgana. I don't know why. I wasn't what she was trying to make. She locked me away for many years, and then eventually I was saved, and points to Mother Gotham.
Oh, I'll probably say that often happens with her. She makes things, and they never turn out good enough.
As you see, Morgause nods and says, I think I was the start of the same plan she had for you, I think she had for me.
What plan was that?
She needed someone who could wield this, and pulls out the sword and the cover, and you see a blinding silver blade, intricately carved golden handle, ruby in the end, and what looks to be various pieces of shards of sword fissured together to create a blade. She says she has been trying to find someone to carry this, and gently puts it on the table.
Can I produce the scabbard that I got from
Absolutely.
Nimue?
You see, without touching it, the blade immediately into the skin, as it then tumbles from your hands onto the table.
What is this?
Mr. Dengothel nods and very simply says, Caliber. A very old, very important blade.
Why does Morgana need someone to carry this?
You see, Dengothel continues, if we knew that, we would be able to move against her. But we do not.
Why should I be the one to wield it?
We don't know. But she has been trying to find a way to use that sword for many, many years until it came into my hands.
Then why give it to me? That's just what she wants.
Oh, we're not giving it to you.
That's rude.
Yeah.
Brought this beautiful scabbard perfect.
Look at this.
You
This
may
was
keep
just
the
proof.
scabbard if you wish. I understand Nimue has that last I heard.
What does it do?
The sword?
Yeah.
Much. In the rightful wielder, it can carve away truth as well as it can flesh or stone. It is very powerful. It is infused with very old things. But the right wielder is very hard to find. Long ago there was one blade, and after a terrible thing it was made into 3 parts. One of them sits in an anvil in Camelot, one of them sits before us here, and the other is lost. I think Merlin has it.
So he's still alive.
I'm not sure. He is outside of my sight.
Do you know where he was sitting last?
He was taking the blade to Titania, Queen of the Sealy Fae.
And so what are we looking for in a wielder? So I've got to find you a ring and a finger that it's attached to.
What I hope is that this blade can destroy these and touches the chest with the anti-seed. I believe that none could wield this for combat. You could use it to break this seed. Potentially.
How can we?
Do you need all 3 pieces or just the one?
That one should do it. I wasn't sure, but I think
What are we waiting for?
what we can do now is we can test it.
Yeah.
And see if that blade can break the seed. And if it can, then it may be possible to cure Carlos.
By stabbing.
Yes?
That is my kind of cure.
You could not, I say again, only the heir of the Cameroon line could wield this in combat. But, in something like this, someone with enough heart could manage it.
We could injure him grievously and bring him here and
And you see she puts on
drop
table
the sword onto him
That is
with its
exactly
pointy
what
end.
This is a scroll of teleportation.
Oh,
It
that
will
makes life
transport
easier.
The 4 of you and Carlos Valance right back.
Excellent.
He will need to be unconscious.
Yeah.
Or willing, if you can manage it.
Unconscious.
I'm sure we can find a way to get in here without knocking him unconscious.
I admire that.
Good luck.
Perhaps you
Unconscious.
could. It is unclear to me what is left of the man beneath that.
It is merely called forced persuasion.
Is that a spell?
We can make it there.
You see, Morgause pours herself in the briar tea. Takes a little sip.
Lord.
Yes. Unconscious. And then drop the pointy end through his chest.
It would be slightly more specific than that, but yes.
We shall make him see the truth. The sword.
As they're talking, can I reach my hand towards the sword?
Yeah, sure.
Does it like tingle?
Yeah.
You notice nothing. You reach towards. You touch it.
Just touch the ruby on the end.
You just really. Your finger starts to bleed a little. And nick yourself on the ruby. As you see, Mother Gothel says, "Careful. The sword is only wielded by the right wielder. I do not know exactly what happens if the wrong person tries."
Oh. Never mind, Mordred.
Reject.
I'll turn to Morgause and I'll say, I guess I'm just another failed experiment too.
You see, she has a sad look on her face and says, "I'm sorry, my child, but if you were not, I do not think she would have let you live."
Yeah, it's okay. You're not a
Oh, ego boost. You're riding this like roller coaster right now. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm offended. Woo!
That's right, I'm alive because I'm a failure! Woo. Okay.
You see, then Gothel says, "If you are willing to help me, and the 4,000 or 5,000 people who live in the glade just beyond the path, you will defeat the Beast King, one way or another, bring him back here, and we shall remove the anti-seed."
Sounds good.
Okay.
Is the dude we're trying to bring back also the dude with the ring?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Two
Do you mind if-
birds, one stone.
Yeah. So if he's unconscious, we can take it.
Maybe we should give her the ring. Give Memphis one of the other 2, and then we keep the third for ourselves.
Yeah, I reckon.
The only one in your contract that you're not permitted to keep yourselves is the sword. That
Yes.
is, you're not allowed to play.
Yeah.
It's the short of the
But we would be allowed to play with it for 2 hours
hours.
with him near us.
Yeah, so he gives you, so you need the
Oh, yeah,
passphrase
we get to
to get
use
it to work. Part of your reward is he gives you the passphrase, and you get 2 hours of using a scribe. So you can find anything like that, basically.
So we could use that to try finding the 2 pieces of the skull.
Very potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
If you could do it.
Or we could find the treasure.
Oh, the
Tree.
the Treasure Island
The
treasure.
tree as well, yeah, the tree.
I'm like,
Or we
we could
could
find the
find-
treasure. I could find my puffer fish.
I mean, you do have a
We
map
could
to the
find certain
Important things.
entering devices.
You could. You could find a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
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 I think all of us have something we want to find.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah.
You're looking for.
You want to find
Shoes.
a purpose.
I lean over to Mordred and I go, I thought in the tales it's meant to be stepmothers that are the bitches. It appears not.
I'm starting to think it's all mothers
Yeah.
and all
That's-
mothers.
Not very nice. My mother was a lovely person.
Well, at least you three
Count
had a
yourself
mother.
lucky.
Did she have pink eyes?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
You,
My
You
dad was a
haven't
dick,
missed
that's why
anything.
my brother is.
yeah,
My mother
maybe
was
it's
lovely.
better that I didn't have a mother.
I mean, to be fair, I think that's a valid assumption.
1 to 2 odds against, apparently.
I ask Gothel, is my mother in your sight?
You see, she sighs and looks sad, and she says, "She was, but she left my son some years ago. She has changed. She has stepped. In most people's lives, they move forward. She has learnt to strafe.
Sideways, indeed.
A strange and unusual talent, indeed.
She has many strange and unusual talents.
Indeed.
And my sister, is she in your sights? One is dead. The other was married, last I heard.
So she says, "I have not looked for them, but I could if you would like."
Which sister's this?
Cinderella.
I thought so.
Oh, sorry.
Anastasia's dead because I've got the knife that killed her.
So she says,
Frankenstein's monster
Adam.
gave us that. The creature. Before you went off and before we went and did deals
Do you
with
know who killed her?
Horace.
the creature.
Oh, okay.
He was hired to by her mother.
Oh, okay.
You see, she says, I could, if you wished, ask after your sister. It would be not difficult. A gesture of trust.
Yeah, I'd
So she
be
says,
interested.
"Little
to-
bird," and you see the dove flies over onto her finger. You see, she says, and the dove, with a strange twisting of light, without anything in particular changing, is suddenly a crow.
Oh. Mordred's like,
And you see, she says, "Go now." And you see it flies off, takes about 2 or 3 flaps, and then is simply gone. And after a few moments, comes back, lands, changes back into a dove, and whispers into her ear. She prepares to travel. She comes to Carlos's wall in only a few months' time.
oh no.
She will be there.
Will she indeed?
That brings us to the matter at hand. Oh, yes,
Can I ask one more thing?
of course.
Is this your current, permanent location, or do you move?
I move as needed. If you wish to find me again, you can. In the meantime, if you would, you may speak with me anytime you need. If you would be willing.
Do we talk into a mirror?
Not quite. And you see she reaches into her mouth and extracts it.
Oh.
So
Oh,
she says,
she's too
I must place this in one of your mouths, and your words will always reach me.
Oh yeah, Drizella's up for that.
No thanks.
In character. I mean, you've lost half
She
of them,
then
haven't you?
takes your tooth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, one of my
Oh.
few-
You
one
see
of
that
my few
several of
remaining.
her teeth are distinctly different from the rest.
Oh,
of them.
fabulous! Like scrying rings
Except teeth.
that we
It's
had
like
in Randolph.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a big keychain. Right?
Oh,
Yeah, we had a big calling card of keychains. Yeah.
And says, I will now be able to hear any words you say to me.
Don't say her name. Okay,
Alright.
let's go get
Yeah,
us
just
some
turn into a
fingers.
speakerphone and I just started saying the name.
And you see, she says,
Yeah, eating the glass is not going to be a long-term legal thing to have done, I think. But anyway,
It's fine.
yeah.
you see,
It
she
wasn't a
says,
short-term good thing to be done either.
there are 2 paths that await you. In a few days, Carlos Valath holds a great feast. Many people will travel far and wide to be there. In the chaos and the revelry, you may walk unseen and take the items you desire. On the other hand, if you wanted, you could work with the old family who once ruled there, give them back their glade, and they would likely give you the items as thanks. You could also, if you wish to remain unseen, first take the items, and then give back the family their glade. Then your workings may be unknown to all.
I want to infiltrate a bull.
If this man has truly done what I think he has to the lesser population or the lower population, the lower class of this area, then he deserves to be strung out as publicly as possible. We have to set a example for others that wish to continue in his path.
But there's a blackness in his heart that isn't his own. Maybe if
Oh,
we
it's definitely
remove
his
that-
own. He's growing it.
But if we
It's
could
because-
remove that, maybe the
It's
good
come
will
from
shine
him,
through.
At the point he is in, he could not make a good choice. But if you remove it, he may learn to be good again. But that did not grow in his heart by accident. Those choose the most vile hearts to grow in.
Yep.
Okay.
If you wish
Magic
to
blade,
supplant
magic
him
steel,
with someone
fire.
more kind to the people, you may still need to take the items first. With them on his side, a revolt would be very difficult. Perhaps impossible.
Very well.
Is there a way we could get into this bull?
Indeed, there is. I was once very important in the Cruthic Covenants. Something that not even death could take from me. I'm told not the weight I once did, and so they lean back quite sore, and reach into their coat and produce 3 beautifully handwritten letters with, 4, with your names on.
Yeah, it's like who's list.
It's alright, I'm not worthy of that either.
And says, you would appear as guests of the local wise man, of the local witch. And puts them on the table.
May I ask, just out of curiosity, as an academic of magic, has your skills waned much since you were all? Or do you feel just as strong as you once?
So she pauses, almost reflecting, and says, I am different now than I was. Not all of me returned. Why do you ask?
Curiosity more than
Nods and says, there are many things I could do then that are no longer available to me. Not, I think, because of power, but something else that's different.
Is it almost like your soul is torn, or
No, nothing so dark. I think there are things I once did that were no longer befit me.
Everyone can change.
Indeed.
Even an evil king.
do you think you've got more of a purpose than you had?
I most certainly do.
What is that purpose?
Something you will all become very familiar with in time. I can tell you it involves this sword, 12 staves, a tree, and a glass slipper.
A glass slipper.
There are things in motion now
Tree
which
12?
spin
Is that the round table?
very
No. We know that there's 12 stars that we do know.
You do indeed. So the staff of Beguile, now third item along with the ring looking glass, the staff of Beguile, is one of 12 staves of power, very old things.
What's that?
Just ask me like that.
What rank?
Okay.
Trips.
It's just funny kid.
You see, Morgaz sits very quietly and says, I will be in Salazar Glum should you need more practical direct assistance. I have no skill with magic, but I know some herbs and I can provide healing if you need it. Gothel has been teaching me. Has been able to show a little smile.
Have I ever met Morgaz? I haven't.
No one's ever met Morgaz or Morgana. Can I speak to Morgaz and say,
Yeah.
Are we of any relation?
You see, she looks a little confused and says, I'm not sure. To tell you the truth, I don't know your relation to Morgana. Are you her born child?
She always said that my parents abandoned me and she took me in, so no, I don't think so.
She says, then you're of only the relation we met. I could be a friend if you sought it, though I understand why not.
What about a sister?
And you see, she almost looks confused, as if she's trying to remember the meaning of the word. And then says, maybe, and smiles. See, Mother Gothel says, very well then. If you wish to win the people, my advice to you would be that you must win the favour or remove out of your way at least 2 of the 3 barons that look after the glade. That is Drazig, Anton, and Derov. You shall find them in the smaller towns of the glade.
Drazig, Anton, and...
Dorev, sorry. D-R-O-E-V. Dorev. You see, she says, from what I understand, Dorev may be one with money, Anton with favour, and Drazig is, well, violent by nature, but you uncover that on your own, I imagine. Win them over, kill them. I leave that to you, of course. But they control guards and means and keys to power. If you can get them on the side of yourselves or the old Erenian family who used to rule, then a revolt would be possible. Is there any other questions you have at all that I might be able to help you with?
I'll probably ask if she knows anything about the egg that I saw in my vision.
You see, she says that the dragons have not been seen for many years. Some suspect they are gone.
The dragons?
Oh yes, the dragon. It is a dragon egg, is it not? Yay, big, stone-like. Yes, dragon egg. Certainly not an ostrich. Unless it's a rock, but those have not been seen for even more long time. I suppose perhaps a basilisk or some such it could be, but I would imagine dragons. You are the child of Morgana, are you not?
Yes.
Yes, well, the dragon then.
What?
The crest. No? My boy, do you know much of your birthright? Morgana is the younger daughter of Uther Pendragon, of Camelot.
Okay.
Yes? No? No, right. Long ago, there was Camelot to the north, lovely place, and a very stupid man by the name of Uther. He was a very wise man, but he was also a very stupid man. He forged a very great kingdom with the help of several dragons, and then they vanished. Many think he killed them. Maybe they just left. But he took the dragon as the crest for that kingdom, and for his name, Pendragon. Lovely tea. Morgana is his only daughter, his youngest child. His elder child, Arthur, took the throne as king. He was killed in a rebellion. He came back. Then Merlin disappeared. And he lingers on, as I understand it, until now.
Well,
But you were raised by Morgana Pendragon, or Lefay, as she took herself. Dragons are nearby.
He'll probably just say, well, I don't know if I'm worthy of anything of Morgana's, so
She told you none of this? Of her parentage?
no.
And you see her and Morgana share a concerned look. She makes a hand gesture of some sort, and then she says back to you, "Her motives were strange indeed. I'm sure with time we will come to understand them."
Your plot keeps thickening.
Yeah.
If there are no other questions, then there is a small matter. Oh, yes,
I
yes,
do
please.
have one.
Yes.
You're very familiar with Fey dealings, are you not?
Yes.
Is there anything we perhaps missed in this contract that is unusual, or is it a fairly standard Fey contract?
But it's not
So
fair.
she says, "May I examine it?"
Yeah. Well, it's not Fey, right? But she might.
Yeah,
So-
it's fiendish.
Didn't he say he was Fey at the start, though, or something?
No.
No.
He said he wasn't.
He's a devil.
We think he's the devil.
Sorry, I'm wrong.
I can tell you
No, you're
whatever made it was not true Fae. Kind of a note for the setting. Fae in Evergreen pretty much just means anything that's not like human, monster, undead. Fae would be used for elementals, fiends, true Fae.
Okay.
Elementals and a whole bunch of other stuff.
So he's still technically Fey.
Yeah,
it's just not true
just
Fey.
not like true Fae, and not like mechanically Fae.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's not true Fae. Powerful, meticulous, but careful. There is not much in here that would tell you anything for their undoing. If I were you, I would deliver what is promised, and then try to get out of the contract if you can.
Okay.
If it is all it seems to be, it should be a simple matter of taking the coin and running. Though if I know their type, they will offer you much more coin for something far worse.
Well, let's hope
This
it
could
doesn't get
just
to
be the
that.
beginning. The
Uh,
closer we
Mordred
get to
doesn't
these
like
items, the
coin.
more plots unravel.
well, I'm sure you're anxious to reach Salazar Grum. Before you go, there is the small matter of the anti-siege you found.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I forgot about that.
I would like to test if the blade can in fact destroy it.
That would probably
Sounds
be
good.
useful before we bring him back here.
Who's going to use
I
the
might
sword?
move, like,
I
Behind
start
a
looking at my
pop lamp or
finger
something,
where I
Indeed.
cut it.
Who of you would be willing to hold the blade for this?
I'll show my bloody finger and I'll say, I don't think the blade thinks me worthy.
Very well.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
I'm good with knives.
You
Just-
see
couldn't
just-
Morgaze do it?
It's just a
As
big
one-
knife.
Morgause,
Morgaze.
and you see she says, you see she shakes her. She says, I can carry the sword well enough, but I cannot use it. Not even for something small as this.
So we do not believe
If
either.
it starts to hurt, just don't bother.
Yeah, we can all
I'll
try.
give it a go.
So Mother Gothel says, I am an apt healer. I will mend any damage. As much as I can.
Which is good, because like, none of us can be a healer.
You see the chair she's in, the rocking part of the rocking chair continues moving back and forth. A little bit you sit and just levitates up. And moves around as she comes around the box following along with her floating. She says, bring as you see, she sets the box down and you see she says, the first step will be to simply lift it from the table.
I go to lift the sword from the table.
You see she says, remember, you do not lift such a thing with your hands, but with your heart.
Oh.
Can I just before she does that?
Yeah.
I'll message into your head and I'll say, I know you don't believe it, but I know you've got a good heart.
I raise an eyebrow that you can't see, and I use my heart to release Eldamit.
Okay. Eldamit.
I love
seems to have the
Eldamit.
jar.
I love
Walking along.
Eldamit.
You're
Yes,
sending him towards the sword.
I am sending Eldamit towards the sword.
You see Eldamit gets about a meter away and stops.
Oh, Eldamit.
Do you ask him to go forwards more?
Not if it's going to hurt Ultimate. Does
Yeah.
Ultimate look frightened?
They move forward a little finger and it kind of shakes as they move it forward. They see-
I summon
they see
Ultimate
Goblin
back.
get closer.
I summon Ultimate back. I'm
Back in
like,
the jar of brine.
get back in your jar. I shall do it to myself. I go to... I concentrate on the sword.
You see, she says, I may have misspoke, so you do also lift it with your
Yes, I know. I'm concentrating on the sword. Like,
Do you-
I have used knives before. And I pull out my rusty scissors. I say, see?
Can you give
They're
me
sharp.
a charisma check as you go to try to lift up the sword?
Charisma. Which would be what? Oh, straight
Just
charisma.
straight charisma.
Oh,
You
gee
can't
whiz.
have proficiency in this, unfortunately.
Well, no, you can't. +1 in charisma. That's terrible. 16.
16. You reach out, you wrap your hand around. It's almost like as you first go to grab it, that you're just putting your hand flat against the wall. There's no edge to the handle you can feel. And then as you feel it in your heart, your hand around the blade, and you lift it off the table, and it doesn't look like they're struggling unnaturally. You can all feel that this is difficult. This is a blade, this is something that shouldn't move. It's like she has just picked up the ground itself as she holds it. And you pick it up and you hold it above the thing.
Okay.
And you see Gothel says, very good. And you see with a little wave of her hand, the box opens up. And she says, if you take it over to there and simply drop it onto the sea, you should do it.
I walk towards the seed.
Another charisma check as you start to walk. And you will see that every step is sinking half a foot into the ground.
Oh my
Is there-
god.
Can we
The force on it is just flattening.
8.
can we like give help or resistance? Anyway?
Maybe. What do you do to help? Like physically, what do you do?
Carry me
Go
over.
Could
You
I?
can
No,
see
I
us.
actually want to like
Carry
give,
me
like,
over.
Go, Drizella, you can do it.
like
Stab
what's it
this
called?
thing.
You know,
With Drizella.
you know how you use like society to like give a speech or something like that. Like I'm trying to like
Like inspire?
inspire
Yeah,
you
motivate.
to,
Yes,
to
for
like
sure.
have this
rally.
heart, to be like
Performance would be the skill for
to
that.
be like you're not like your family. You do have a heart. Like
Yeah, give us a performance check.
oh,
I think Drizella's
Okay,
resistant.
27.
Oh
That's
wow.
a crit success, so that brings your 8 to a 10. Anyone want to do anything similar?
Could I?
Would that be performance as well if I'm just cheering on?
Yeah, cheering's going to be performance.
Woo!
Okay, this is more of a flavor
I only
thing.
get plus
So, if I'm not allowed to do this, could I kind of connect
not
to
my
her
skill.
mentally,
Mhm.
and
Athletics is my worst.
using like my
Athletics,
read
let's say,
fate
plus
ability or
everything else.
something,
Why?
attempt to show her like visions of goodness in her mind?
Give me an occult. I'll let you do
Occultism.
occultism to aid for that.
That's
That's your
freaky.
spell thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no, it's divine.
Religion.
Freaky.
24.
24. That's a success, so that brings you up to 11.
Freaky.
You are cheered on. You see visions of success. It is not enough.
Yeah.
The blade, it's not necessarily it's too heavy. It's not that you can't hold it. It's simply just against your grip. It is falling towards the ground, point down. Give me a reflex save to move your foot.
Okay. Stab my foot. No. Oh,
I'm gonna break the
15.
spell.
15 is enough. Your foot is out the way. It into the ground halfway down.
See, we
the
should have
blade.
just put the seed there.
As it does, you just see the grass in a 10-meter range is blown away from the outside. The house shakes slightly. The
Okay.
ground trembles a little. You see, Dendrothel says, "Perhaps not.
An impressive blade.
You made it farther than most who carry the thing.
You can have a go.
Did anyone else try to carry the blade?
I'll have a go.
Very good, big boy.
Well, I'll go.
You see, you're halfway there. You
Remember,
haven't even got to carry it very
you
far.
do not lift it with your arm, but with your heart.
Alright, so as I go to lift it, I'm going to start thinking about all the people the Hogs and Brothers have hurt, and how much I want to like avenge people that have stepped on and taken advantage of,
Yeah.
all that sort of thing.
You see you put a hand on it, give us a roll.
6.
6. You see, as you start to pull, the ice starts to go grey and dark, and storm clouds start to form. The wind starts to blow. As you see, she. No! Stop! You cannot lift such a thing with hatred. That
Oh.
will never work.
Okay. Not bad.
Even righteous hatred cannot be used to move such a thing. And looks to the two remaining people.
I might as well give it a go.
Please.
And I'm sort of walking up to it like I don't tend to touch things that I don't really know what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it is magic, and
It was fine. Just keep your feet out of the way of it.
and I'm gonna think of all the times when I've been with the bigger boys and we've sat behind a shed eating the food.
Mhm.
The smiles on their faces, those sorts of things. And what is it? Straight current? No.
Just straight charisma.
Uh,
You can add +2 for those bountiful
Okay,
numbers.
16.
16.
Mm.
You grip it with great effort. It slides from the soft dirt, and you're able to pick it up. It's very good. Walk it over to the box. Take heavy steps, and again, the steps are sinking into the mud. The grass blasts away from your feet. There's another charisma roll as you walk it. Do you have it? Are you still thinking about those same memories, or different things, or specifics? You feel like you won't get the bonus if you just think of the same things. It'll have to be something else.
Yeah, he's probably thinking about the same thing. He's probably just like
no bonus things,
single-minded
like
right now. Like that works. So he's
You
Can
said that
I-
you got something from that, but as you hold to it, it doesn't keep giving you. Anyone else who help stuff?
Yeah. Can I, having just fucked this up,
Mhm.
can I use religion to try and, I guess, impart what I've learned?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And in terms of, because my magic's
Yeah.
technically
It's-
divine.
It is divine magic.
Yeah.
It's part of what's on this wheel.
which and I know what the thing in the box is
Yeah,
and
for
what
sure.
to do with that.
Yeah, give us a
So-
religion check.
27 religion.
27 is a crit success, so add 2 to whatever you rolled. So what do you got?
21.
21. You walk the blade over. You manage to lift it up, hand underneath. Again, it is the weight of the world you're carrying, but you manage a couple of steps. You're over the box. As normal golfer says, very good. Now, do not aim with your eye. You must aim with your mind. It is not a matter of sight or arm. It is a matter of knowing what you want.
I never met
Force of
this dude. did
sheer
I?
will.
The dude who the seed.
No.
No. This is just-
What I'm
must
trying to
stab with
visualize
your
in my
sword.
head is the soul, or like I don't know if this thing swirls at all, or if it's like purely
There's a
static.
movement in there somewhere, absolutely.
And
It's
I'm
almost
not.
like a
I'm
wide
almost like feeling for the energy, like with my arcane sense.
I love that. Yeah, yeah. So it's going
Um,
to be wisdom to make the attack.
Guidance.
Guidance will work. That's +1.
Just straight wisdom.
Just straight wisdom.
19.
Plus
19.
one.
+1.
No.
Oh, you're
Anything?
I don't really have anything I can do to help with that.
You hold it, and then with a great relief, you drop, and it moves far quicker than it should through the air into the sea. There is a brief moment where all of you have a vision of a tree the size of a mountain exploding into shrapnel, and the sun blackening out, and waves engulfing all of you just for a second as this breaks, and then it's simply broken and gone. The blade through the box into the ground. The sea falls into pieces and then withers away.
Is the tree the same like breed as the one that's sunk?
Yes, it looks like a tree.
It looks exactly like the tree that's sunk.
It looks like a tree. You stab at the blade is in the ground as you see. Gothel says, "Very good, very good,"
Nicely
and
done.
moves
Well
over and
done.
inspects it and says, "It's finished. It's the luck.
My dice don't roll this well normally.
That's good. Now we know it can be done."
So when we bring the dude with it in his chest, we need to put him really close to the sword, so we don't have to do any.
Sword up and
Yeah, so we don't have to
Such
do any
things will not work
walking.
on it,
So we don't have to do any walking.
that's a good point.
So she says,
I don't know if I can do that a second time.
"That is all right. There are others you can try."
I just look
she
at my-
looks at you while she says that. Let's not just leave it.
Oh, I'd probably say I don't think the sword wants me.
That may not be a part. That may not matter. But
Oh, Mordred.
Can I? The sword and the stone, I'm assuming, is like a thing.
yeah, so
That is
when
well
she was
known.
talking,
There's one in,
she's-
it's in
give me a
Camelot.
society.
The Envol,
I just want to know if this is a similar sword or
Yeah, it's
the
one of
same
the
sword.
three.
Yeah, so she said that there
There's
was
3. That's
she
where
said
the
there's
other one
three.
is.
There's this one. There's one that's in an anvil in Camelot. That's Sword in the Stone, and then the third, which is
We don't know what the third is, but we know Excalibur is in the stone. Or in this anvil.
At least 12.
And she named this one Caliburn. Caliburn. So Excalibur is in an anvil. Caliburn is the one that you've just dropped, and then there was the third one that you can
It's
ask the name of it
lost.
if you like.
Yeah. What is the name of the third sword?
There's a third one was called Cadovich.
And were they all
No,
made at the same time?
They're all from the same
So
sword.
she says, no one quite
Or are
knows
they
where.
three parts of the same whole?
She says they are all part of the same whole. The first was also called Excalibur. Excalibur was wielded by Arthur when
As
he
the
led his
story goes.
rebellion and brought Camelot
So the
back together.
combined sword was wielded by.
So Excalibur is very old. It was always Excalibur. It was then broken into 3 pieces at the end of the strife of Camelot. One of those kept the name Excalibur.
Aha.
Another, Caliburn, gestures for one in the ground, and the lost one, Cadovich.
And you said this has some element of truth breaking. Or what other traits do Excalibur and this lost sword have? Because obviously this Excalibur was originally split into its
You see she nods.
essences.
It was split into 3 parts. It was simply designed to be less than it was. They hold all the same pieces, just in less amount than the original. They do the same things.
Okay.
They are very powerful.
So they're not
in
like
hands
super
of-
unique from each other.
The three are one, and the one is now 3. As for what exactly it can do, I believe it would have the power to break great enchantments and curses, to find truth, to change it. It would extend the will of its user into the world. What exactly that means, I don't know.
Interesting.
With the original blade, one man, Arthur, was able to unite the entire northern kingdoms. He fell upwards. With it, his father, Uther, was potentially able to slay the dragons. Perhaps all of them. At the
And
very least, they feared him.
I'm
Sounds like
sure
a
it's a
monster
story, but is the history correct in how Arthur passed and was like what is the in this timeline?
So
what's
she's mentioned Arthur dying and coming back. You can get a society check if you want to see what you know.
Yeah, because we've all heard different things about that.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to, in fact, give us a society check
Yeah.
on what they know about Arthur and Camelot.
You know, that's very fitting. A natural one.
You only found out about Camelot's crest being a dragon 5 minutes ago?
I mean, I knew the crest, but I didn't know the link to the family.
that is 21.
21. So your understanding is, so Uther and his father, well, Uther was a young man, with the help of the dragons, makes an empire in the north of Camelot. Uther gets old, Uther dies, Arthur takes over.
Mhm.
When Arthur is in his late 30s, early 40s, he still has no children. Something called the Strife of Camelot happens. It's not entirely clear what was the cause of it with that role you've got. It's very vague, but for some reason, there was a great rebellion. The Glades all said, we will not follow Arthur. He was murdered. He died.
Was the sword still in one piece at that point?
Yes, all of this, Excalibur is the original. He dies.
So it's not because the sword broke. Okay.
Not the sword, but nothing. He dies, then he comes back. He's brought back, you think probably by Merlin with that check, but other people say maybe he was never really dead.
Merlin's the sort of person that could do it.
Merlin could do
Someone,
anything, if you believe the stories. Merlin brings Arthur back. Arthur, using Excalibur, the one, retakes all of Camelot, but with the condition that the sword must be broken, so that he could never do that feat again. Merlin breaks the sword into 3. One of them's put in the anvil. One of them is given to Nimue. In fact, I'm going to say Mother Gothel gives you some of this, you know some of it. One of them is given to Nimue, the Lady of the Lake. One of them Merlin takes. Gothel seems to think he was taking it to Titania, but then Merlin disappears. Arthur, by all accounts, is still alive.
Arthur's still alive.
Old man these days, though. He'd be in his 60s.
So it wasn't actually that long ago.
No, it was all about 20 years, 15, 20 years ago, the strife of Cameron.
Quite interesting. It is very recent history.
Yeah.
There'll be some scarred people in the north.
Oh yeah, so you would have all lived through this happening. You probably, none of you, I imagine, were there. You would have been like an infant.
Yeah.
No, I would have been too young.
Yeah, none of you would have been in the north, probably, but you would have there's a massive
it's a big
war in
war.
the north that's happened. And the war in the north is still going on between Avalon and Camelot. Anyway, that's enough lore. Oh, thank you.
I feel like it's getting David up to scratch with everything.
Who's keen to head off to Salazar Glen? Do you have any other questions, requests, favours to ask of Mother Gothel or Morgause or anything?
I'm keen to move on.
I
Awesome.
think we go. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sorry for my
No,
lore-
I love
lore
it. I
absorbing
love it.
today.
I love it.
It's been too long since I was evergreen.
Right. So you will continue on to the
Anything.
yeah.
Before we go,
What's Camelot?
I would like to know the entire history of Arnhem. No, I'm just kidding. I'll give Morgause. I've got a little
We can answer that one another time.
brooch that I use to keep my cloak together. That's got a raven on it that I probably stole from my mother, and I'll just give it to her as a token of kind of.
You see she smiles and says, what's this for?
It was from our mother.
You see she looks really conflicted, and you see she says, I greatly appreciate the gesture, but I want nothing from it. And hands it back to you.
Okay.
And says, and you see she hurries inside and she comes back with a small pouch, and you see she says, but may I give you this? And you see it's a small thing of bryant.
Aw, that's nice.
And you see she says, best of luck to you in Salazar Glum.
And to you.
And she nods.
He goes to say sister, but stops himself.
You head on to Salazar Glum. Salazar Glum, quite a big glade in comparison. Unlike a lot of the places you've been, it is all farmland in between various little villages and baronies, and then big main city, which sits to the north on kind of an elevated plateau looking over the rest of the glade. You head out. You see, there's a this very map is at the Western Gatehouse. I'll send you a picture of this if you like. Actually, I'll put this in the chat. As you're heading along, sorry, you're not actually there. You're heading towards the gatehouse. It's 200 meters away, sort of thing. Can I get a perception check from everyone?
Oh no.
Why am I rolling?
I've rolled
Next week I'm just
such
going to roll straight ones.
I've not
I've
rolled
rolled
above a
above
10
15,
all
like-
certain.
Yeah, maybe you've got my luck tonight. Because
Yeah.
I've rolled above 15 about 6 times in a row.
Crit fail for an 11.
Beautiful.
16.
Beautiful.
24.
Wonderful.
I hate that.
So no one beat. So sorry, you got 24.
Mm.
Oh, okay. You probably will pick up on this then.
I don't know how I'm rolling, but this is not minimal.
You are all approaching the Western Gatehouse. You see atop of this stand several guards, that sort of thing. You see one of them who carries a big banner, calls to you as you get about 100 feet away, and he says, "Hold there! Hold there! Who goes?
Hi, I'm Mordred!
Are you on the hunt?
No.
Oh, good Jesus! Brace yourselves then! as you hear a war horn sound from the north and from the south. Can I get everyone to roll initiative?
Oh, sorry.
The three of you who didn't get a good perception check are taking a -2 penalty. You get a +2 penalty, David, for the roll you got.
+2.
Plus-
I
Oh
think
my
I rolled badly, so...
What's
Yeah, what's the initiative?
It's
Plus
The initial is perception check.
In this case.
And then, you just add anything that's...
I rolled really bad, but it's still 15.
So that's -2 from us.
Alright. Darian, what are we looking at?
15.
15. Drizella.
26.
Wow. Big B. 17. Mordred.
11.
11. Awesome.
No.
And your perception's not very good.
It's +8. Which is still...
Plus 10. Mine,
So-
that's like detective, so I should have
You hear the war horn blow.
Combat
Running.
music?
Battle music, yeah. You see big flashes of light to the north and the south. Something is moving towards you, driving things forward. As you then see, running at an incredible speed, what looks to be a cross between a giant rat and a dog of some sort. This mangy creature, long tail, bits of flesh, pockmarked skin. On the back of it rides a goblin in patchwork armor. Missing teeth as it runs towards you, screaming in Goblin. Absolute gibberish, none of you speak Goblin. As it runs 80 or so feet in a turn. It's very, very quick.
But it's mounted, right?
It's mounted on these dogs, yeah. As it runs up, it's going to take a bite at Drizella.
Oh god. Would it be reasonable to say that we had either weapons or shields out?
Probably not, because you're travelling and it's an ambush. So I'd let David have drawn a weapon because they got that perception check. But as it is, you're like not just walking on the road, you're like about to get to town. Sort
So
of like, okay, we'll put them away.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make you draw weapons.
Cool.
Alright, so Goblin Dog goes in for an attack against Drizella. Drizella, how does a
Everyone add 2 10 HP.
crit fail sound? Natural 1. Not going to hit.
That's
You
amazing.
see, it runs up, it goes to bite you, and it just runs straight past you, skids on the kind of gravelly road, and just but misses. That is its turn. Drizella, on to you. You see the goblin up close. The goblin also has this pockmarked skin, this twitchy look, bright red bloodshot eyes.
Oh, red eye.
You remember Red Eye being this condition in this plague that's travelling that drives you eventually to madness.
Yep.
Drizella, that's your move. Bigby, you're on deck.
How close am I to the goblin?
It's adjacent to you.
Adjacent now, so
5 foot,
within, flens him then.
Flens, go for it. Is that a save?
With touch range, which it is, and the... I think it's a save.
Maybe at the top if it's a save.
Maybe it's
Nope.
verbal strip.
Of ranges with a touch, that's an attack roll.
Of course, yeah.
It doesn't say that, but it should.
Yeah, no, that's...
So that's the goblin up here.
16.
Yep, so that's the little goblin. So that's the goblin on the goblin dog, just there. That's Nightshade, that's Drizella.
26.
26, awesome. That is a critical hit.
Oh, jolly good.
Oh, sorry, it's on a thing. Sorry, just a regular hit, not a critical hit. My apologies.
And it just counts as a living creature.
It is a living creature, yes.
Okay. Just thought I should check that because it would be able to tell the difference.
Are you going for the goblin or the dog it's riding?
The goblin.
Cool. Doesn't change whether it's hit or anything, just find out which creature.
Okay.
Which finger mark?
So that's 7 slashing,
7 slashing.
and it's not a critical hit.
Not
no.
a critical hit. No.
That's fine.
Doesn't matter. 7 slashing. It goes from healthy to bloody. These are weak things. You reach out, you touch it, and you see its skin goes even more pockmarked.
So that's
That is
two actions.
You've got your third.
I'm going to draw my bow staff.
Beautiful. You draw the bow staff. Next up. Oh, is that very goblin's turn? Let's look at that nicely. You see, as you draw your weapon, you see it also draws. It also pulls back its blade, goes in for an attack with its horse chopper.
Horse chopper?
That's what it's called. It's called horse chopper. 26.
Oh, that'll hit.
Wonderful. These guys aren't too pokey though. Oh, 9 damage. It did roll. And it's going to try to trip you over. What do you add to fortitude saves?
10.
Wonderful. It goes for a swipe at your ankles. It hurts with that damage, but it's not enough to trip you over. And its last move, it will command its warg to keep. So it's goblin dog to keep running. So it moves another 40 feet. If anyone has opportunity attack, they're welcome to take it, but I don't think any of you will.
No.
Wonderful. So it runs. You see, it runs past you, goes and hits you with that attack, goes for the bite, and then runs past towards the cliff, turning back around to face you as it looks at you and chants at you in Goblin. Next, be a quiz boy. Next up, you see another goblin and goblin dog running in from the hills. This one's going for Mordred.
Oh, yay!
Mordred, how does a 21 sound to hit?
Just misses.
Just misses.
You've got 2 temp HP, by the way.
Wonderful. That's all the dog can do. Next up is its. Next up is a goblin. You see, coming in from this hill above you, there are a couple more goblins. These ones firing arrows.
Oh no.
Big B, how does a 20 sound?
Yeah, that is.
That hits. Wonderful. Well, not for you. 1 point of damage. Yeah. They're pretty chill, these things. When they're not critting or anything. That is that. See, arrow flies in, and then following it, another goblin dog. This one running down the hills, coming for Darian. As this one runs down the hill with surprising speed, goblin astride it, as it lashes out at you with its jaws. David has a 16 sound to hit.
Misses.
Misses. Wonderful. Bigby, that is your turn. There are 2 goblins engaged. One, I'm going to get my pointer up. 1 and 2, all of these are mounted on these little weird rat dog things, and then 1 hiding back here.
I'm going to draw my lion scythe.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. And I'm going to take a swing at. Can I reach the one that Giselle hit before?
No, so one that
That's right.
Giselle hit falls down here.
Alright, so the
You
one.
hit this one right next to you.
Yeah, I'll go for that one.
Lovely. Go for it.
and
You going for the goblin or the dog?
I'll go for the goblin.
Lovely.
And I'm going to do the violent stratagem. So that's
Brilliant.
only 1 attack, but more. That'll be a 25 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
And it's going to be 4 slashing damage.
You see as this goblin commando comes running down the hill on its battle dog, biting at your friend. You, quick as anything, blade out, you spot a weak point in its armor, hook in, give it a hit, it's bloody. They don't have a lot of hit points. Is that 3 actions from you? Draw,
Yes,
stratagem,
that's-
attack?
yeah.
Beautiful. Next up, goblin gets a turn. Darian, you are on deck.
Tonight is Mordred's very bad, no good night.
It's going to get worse as you see another goblin rider comes in from Mordred. 1 action to command its thing. It's going to go in for a horse chopper.
Chopper.
How does 14 sound, Mordred? That won't
No.
hit.
I hope that's spelled with an A and not an
Horse
E.
chopper.
Unfortunately, it's an ER, but in our hearts and minds, it's an A. Goes in for another one, even less. You see it comes in and just battering this sword. It doesn't even swipe, it's just hitting like you would with a hammer. Bang, bang, bang. This one is fully frothing at the mouth.
Oh god.
Next up, Goblin Dog. That is the one right next to you, Mordred. It's going to go in for some bites.
Yeah, fair enough.
1 and 2 and 3. Just rounding at you. We've got a 20.
Nope.
24.
Yes.
And an 18.
Nope.
Wonderful. 24. Ooh. Crit.
Oh no.
Max damage on a crit for this goblin dog. 18 damage. And I'm also going to need a fortitude save.
Oh no. I'm gonna get rabies.
You are going to get goblin pox.
Oh no.
As you see, this thing just gets in right between the back of your knee where there's a little gap in your armor and just teeth in the leg.
Oh. Sorry, can you say?
Fortitude.
Fortitude, sorry.
So 18 damage.
Oh god.
And then fortitude.
That's a 14.
As a failure.
I'm
You
plus
become sickened 1. Sickened 1, if you'd like to chuck that on your character sheet.
Yep, I would.
You see pretty immediately,
Not
you
fun.
just get a flush of cold go through you.
Oh god.
You do not feel good.
Mechanically, what does 71?
-1 to, I think, everything, just about. It's a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Goblin pox is not pleasant
Okay.
for anybody involved.
Cool.
Let me chuck it on you so I can do clever stuff. Conditions. Goblin pox. Second 1. Lovely. Alrighty. Darian, that is you.
Yeah.
So, you can see one of the goblins is coming for you, being hit by your friend Joseph Bigby, and then Mordred is getting mauled by one of these dogs, just got its teeth in his neck.
I don't like dogs.
Both the doggy dudes up the top also got...
Everyone's on a
Mounts?
dog. Yeah, so everyone's got a mount.
So all the mounts are also attackable as well.
All the mounts are also attackable. There's also a goblin all the way up here shooting arrows at you.
Okay, I'm going to put out both my hands, targeting the dude on the hill, shooting arrows,
Lovely.
and then one of these dudes.
For
But
sure.
his beast, not
The dude on the
Nice.
hill is 50 foot away. Can you make that?
16.
Beautiful.
I'll slash and gust. I'm
Beautiful.
gonna slash my hands through the air, like there's these gusts of wind.
Oh, they
ripple out.
sand?
No, it's wind.
Oh, it's wind.
That's wind rippling out from each finger as I slice my enemy. If I have 2 hands free, I can target 2 creatures.
Beautiful. Fort save.
No, it's a spell attack
Oh, beautiful. Give us the attack roll.
against both.
Awesome. You're attacking the goblins there. They're dogs.
The dogs.
Dogs?
And then that would be 20 for the first and 18 for the second.
Both of those are hits.
And then, oh god, there's a lot of may I ask if any of them was a crit success?
None of them are crit success. They're both just hits.
Cool, that makes
I'll
this
always
easy.
let you know if you crit.
Okay.
Mordred, you're on deck, by the way.
The dude on the hill
Yep.
takes 7, 8
8 damage.
slashing
8 slashing.
and
Beautiful.
another 5 persistent bleed.
Ooh, that's really nasty. Remind me of that when they get going.
Oh god. So it was 5 persistent bleed, basically.
Mhm.
And then the other dude takes 5 slashing and 4 persistent bleed.
Wonderful. So is it a dice roll for the bleed?
Yeah,
Oh, awesome. What's the dice?
that's 2d4.
2d4. Beautiful. Roll them on its turn.
I'll roll
Just
them
so
on
you can just remember.
Yeah, that's easy. Cool.
So you do that one. Bleed happens at the end of their turn.
Okay.
Awesome. Alrighty. Goblin. The one that has just run down the hill towards you sees you attacking its friends and goes, and it's going to go in for an attack. Goes
Oh,
in
can
for
I-
a lot of horse strings. Yeah.
During my turn,
Yeah, I'm sorry, you've got a third action still.
I do. Is there anything like defensive you can do with one action? Or not really?
Depends on your skills. I would probably recommend for you to take
Oh, you can take cover.
an action which is called Demoralize is probably going to be best for you. You can try and intimidate them. That'll make their attacks lower.
Okay. Can I also can you free action shout to the guard, or would that take an action?
Talking's all free.
I want to shout to the guard and just say, "What do you mean the hunt? Can we have some assistance down here?"
You see, yells out and says, "Glade policy, I'm afraid. We're culling the red eye. You're on your own."
Okay, and I will attempt to demoralize.
Don't get bit.
And I believe
so. Demoralize is an intimidation check against whoever you'd like to try to intimidate.
Oh, that's deception. Okay.
Yeah. And you're bullying them into submission, basically.
Okay, I will. That is 18.
On that one?
Yeah.
That's the one that's trying to attack you?
Yeah. I'm just going to be like, your eyes don't look so good. You should go and get seen.
Wonderful. That works. You see,
you should go and get seen by a doctor.
Amazingly, that works. It doesn't speak the same language, so it just goes
and it goes shaka laka laka.
But it does seem scared by your intimidating presence and becomes frightened one, so it'll take one from its attacks. That's likely what it did. Which is good because it just made 3 attacks against you. 24.
That's
15.
Misses.
Wonderful. Then the third one also misses, so it only gets one of those attacks on you as it's fearfully lashes out with its horse chopper for 6 damage.
Horse chopper.
Mordred, that
Six,
is you.
Alright, I would like
Yes,
to
6.
spend my first action casting Whispers of Weakness, which is curse bound. So I'm going to kind of send a wave of just kind of dark, shadowy light out, and it will show up any of the wounds that they've got, like old battle scars. So I learn. So for the one closest to me, I'd like to learn its weaknesses and its weakest save.
Are you targeting the dog or the goblin?
Ooh,
the goblin.
the dog.
The dog. The dog's weak. The dog has no mechanical weaknesses. Its weakest save is will.
Lovely. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Alright, I'm going to then cast Calm.
Wonderful.
It will target, it's a 10-foot burst.
Oh, cool. That will get, I think, 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets both of them.
Cool. Well, all 4, I guess.
Yes, so you're targeting dogs and goblins.
Yep, so they've got to make a will save.
Okay, 4 will saves. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I'll probably yell out, "These dogs are weak in the mind."
4. All right.
Yeah.
17, 24, 14, 21.
Alright, I think
17, I think, meets beats.
No, it doesn't. I'm a
Wonderful.
DC 19.
Oh, awesome. So
two
only one of them. Oh, yeah, 2 of them pass.
So, the ones that pass, hang on, just let me get my thing up. The ones that pass get a -1 penalty to their attacks,
Lovely.
and the ones that fail can't take hostile actions.
That's right. It's bloody spell. Awesome. I'm going to do some.
It's
lucky
my favourite.
Middling, beautiful. You see the goblin who is attacking you becomes calmed, and the dog, the other one, becomes calmed.
And then after that, I have no actions, but you see him go white in the face and it looks like he's about to throw up.
Love that. Alright, next up, the goblin whose dog is calm, kind of wonders what's going on, kind of kicks it a little bit, is going to try and persuade it. Wastes an action because even if it succeeds, it can't break the spell. Is not the brightest, doesn't realise what's going on, tries again.
I
Crit
love this.
succeeds. Can calm be ended at all? Is there
No.
a thing of, no, cool, so wastes another turn. Then clues into what's going on, wastes 2 of its actions, with a third decides to attack.
Just gets off.
No, it stays on, it can still stay, but it's just swiping at you from
okay.
the dog. This is very calmly, it's going,
I imagine its
Licking its
tail's
eye.
wagging.
oh yeah. Alright, how does a 16 Mordred won't hit you? Wonderful, waste of time. That guy is going to just sit tight for a minute. Alright, back to the top. Drizella, you're on deck. The one that did a run by of you earlier is going to try pretty much the same trick again. 2 of them running past and making an attack as they go. How does a... Ooh, 14. It's not going to do it, is it?
No.
Nope. That's all it's got. Drizella, that's your turn.
Alright.
You see it runs from the bottom, runs past, snaps at you, but misses. Misses out the top.
I'm going to summon an animal.
Oh, awesome. What animal?
I'm going to summon a skunk
A skunk.
here.
Love.
Incredible. Where?
Here.
Is that thing about to release some gas over all of us?
No, it's in a line.
I'm guessing it's going to spray must.
Yeah, in a 10-foot line, which will get these ones here. In this.
Oh my goodness, it'll get two of them.
Yes.
Oh no, it's all
Also, it'll get the
Starlight.
4 of them.
Yes.
Amazing.
What?
That'll get rid of the calm effect.
Oh well.
Alright, blah 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 blah. 16.
It's
With
fine.
half of that calm is robot.
That's crazy. Alright,
Do you need my skunk stats, or have you got them?
I've got all the skunk stats.
Have you got skunk
I've
stats?
got skunk stats coming out the wazoo. So 1,
Can't stats. I love it.
2 there, bang, bang, and bang. Alright, we have got
Oh.
bad luck for the skunk. Only one of them failed. One of them critically fails, but nothing else. So, amazingly, one of the ones that wasn't already calmed becomes sickened 2 for 2 hours. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I'm glad this didn't hit me as well, because I just keel over.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And has -2 stealth checks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Okay, the stinking goblin dog becomes even more stinky. Does the success do anything?
Success
Oh,
is
still
sickened 1.
sickened 1. Oh my god. Okay. So these things are all sickened 1. That's brutal.
That's cool.
Right, sickened 1.
Mm.
Goblin sickened 1. Other goblins.
Things I learned, there's a difference between burst and emanation.
Yes.
Yes.
So emanation, I believe, stuff gets in the way. Burst does not. Sickened 1. Alright.
I thought burst was just like a single sweat. No, it's not.
No.
Alrighty. Go down. That skunk is very helpful. Alright. Some
It's
animals
got
is triple
the
action,
skunk
isn't it?
has got a very long nose, and it's got its white thing down the back, but it's got like big patches around its eyes, so it looks like a little plague doctor, but with a skunky tail.
I love it.
So,
It's a skunky plague doctor.
Oh,
that is so funny.
that's so cute.
It's very cute.
Um,
It's like way nicer than Drizella the skunk.
that is your
That is
3
my
actions
turn,
and
yep.
the skunk's 2 actions, so that's all you get for that.
That's fine.
But great
good.
work.
Woo.
Alright. Goblin Commando.
Oh, there's a commander.
They're all commandos.
Oh, commando.
Does the
Commandos.
skunk have one more action, or does
No,
summoning
sprays
it
double.
sprays 2 actions?
Yeah, spray is 2 actions. So skunk only gets 2 actions.
Oh, of course it does. Yeah.
So you've got to use your action to do the 2 actions you get back
Yes.
for free when you use your 3 to
Yes.
summon it. Blah, 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 blah. It's all a bit silly, really.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Wonderful.
It's all good.
Alright, Goblin's going to go for a short bow attack against... It's been attacking you so far, it's going to keep that up.
Me?
No, Drizella.
Me.
21.
Hits.
Wonderful. For 3.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then it's going to do... it's gonna, it's feeling left out, it's going to run into the fray too. It runs forward and then horse chopper.
Horse
Chopper.
But for 8, so it won't hit.
Chopper.
Alright.
See that chopper.
Horse chopper is my new favourite weapon.
It's pretty good, eh?
Yep.
Alright.
I can't imagine them just like galloping down the street going, horse chopper!
That is in fact the only word in common they know, and they just keep yelling that every time they attack. Horse chopper!
Chopper!
Alright. Mordred, it's going to be an absolute pain. It's going to go for another bite.
Yeah, it
Its
is.
fangs are in you. That's an 18.
That misses.
That misses. It's then going to try and shove you down to the ground. Crit fail. It's going to waste its last turn on the 3rd attack. Ooh, 15. Multiple attack penalties. Hey. Alright. It doesn't do much. Mordred, remind me on your next turn you've got to save for some
Sickness stuff.
stuff as
Yep.
well. Alright. Goblin at the top, firing on Big B. Big B, how does a 14 sound? Arrow comes whizzing past your head. You know what? It's sad being out of action too. They're going to come and join the fray. We'll spend the rest of its 3 turns running down the hill to get into melee. You see it runs, yelling out, "Push, chopper!" It doesn't have enough action time to actually hit you this turn.
He just can't do anything with his chopper. Horse
You see
chopper!
the third goblin dog gets itched. Terrible. Doesn't sound it, it's very bad. You see its hind legs start riffing at itself on its ear, and dander just spreads through the air.
Oh,
Breathing
dandruff
heavily.
attack.
Dander attack. Everybody is ill in a big clump, so you're all getting exposed to it. Can everyone make me a fortitude save?
Fucking
I don't think I've got, including.
Oh my
Including
god,
you
net
just
20.
get
What is
worse.
my rolls today?
I believe
got
we're
a bad vision.
I can't believe.
Oh my god! I'm fine, sorry.
I can't make this shit
What
up.
would that be?
I've never rolled this.
You're also now slowed 1. So you
25.
use an action to progress to stage 2 of Goblin Box.
I'm
As
stage.
horrible pustules form all over Mordred.
Oh, God, Mordred, 25.
25, that's a success.
17.
17 is exactly what you need. You feel yourself close, but not so close.
Oh my god, that
I have a
sucks.
sneeze. That's all.
I try and
As the
collect.
dander is just in the air.
I just try and collect a bit of dunder. Like
You probably
into,
could extract this from it if you want to make
like totally want to make
Vaccines.
pox
I
bombs.
would
No,
definitely let
pox
you make
bombs.
Alright,
No.
Big B, you let out a mighty sneeze, but it is your turn.
You are ridiculous.
Okay. I am going to
Vaccines.
devise.
I could just
on the one I attacked
inject
the first
pox
time.
into
Yep.
people.
Make an attack roll for
Note
22.
to self.
Still on the dog?
No, it was
kind
the,
of
the
like
goblin I
vaccine.
attacked the first time.
Lovely. 22 is a regular hit.
22 is regular hit. Cool. And then that's going to be 8 slashing damage.
It looks very hurt. So only a few hit points left.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately,
I'll make another attack on it.
so you let out a mighty sneeze, swing your weapon, hit it.
Oh, have these two said this is not turn for bludgeoning yet? Or maybe?
Which ones did you hit? It's about. It did. Sorry, yeah. Give us the 2d6. 2d4. That'll be for the one Big B just hit. That might
4.
4, cool. Still up, but only just. And then the other one as well. Go for it. So just roll that again if you could.
4 again going yet.
Oh, no, it goes next. Yeah, 4 again.
Mhm.
Lovely. Awesome. Big B, you miss. On the other side of the field, the one trying to attack Mordred is currently very debuffed, but it's still going to go for it. Mordred, how does a 22 sound?
Yeah, that hits.
Full, it rolled very well. So that is 6 damage. Sorry, 9 damage. It's then going
How
to try
healthy?
and trip you.
I'm alright.
16.
Let me know if you're
Sorry,
not.
what do you add to fortitude saves?
+7 at the moment.
Plus 7, so it doesn't beat that. So again, hits you in the ankles, but you don't fall over. Its third move, it's going to just going to
Just
reposition
hold my
itself.
shield. I got my
Dog.
shield up.
Moves it here.
I'll be able to block some damage, please.
Alrighty. Goblin Dog's going to have a go. It's going to do another dander attack.
Oh god.
I need a fortitude save from everyone. As you see again, this one. Scratch, 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 scratch. All these fluff flying through the air.
I hate my life.
So we all roll this one.
All fortitude save, yeah?
God, how am
I rolled a 2.
That's 18. 26.
6. Big B, you become sickened 1 as you feel the chills spreading over you. Have goblin
So yeah, I
pox.
had 10, right? But yeah. That's
10?
It's still a foul, right?
Still foul in front. Mordred, you progress to stage 3. You are sickened 2 and can't reduce your sickened value.
Oh god, I was just about to do that.
God.
So you are, I'm afraid you are sick. You see the pustules burst, ooze running down your arms. It's very unpleasant.
Okay.
That is the end stage of the disease.
Mordred finds out, oh, you're You're not going to inherit everything. You're just a mistake and then dies in the next fight.
You don't feel this is a deadly disease. You have a really bad cold. You've got like chicken pox. But not deadly. All right.
Mordred grew up in the forest. He's never been exposed to glade folk illnesses. He's got no immune system.
Bloody goblin disease. All right.
He wasn't vaccinated. Morgana was an anti-vax.
Yeah.
Darian, you take Grisella, how did you want that?
Oh, sorry. I missed a fortitude, so. Fortitude plus 10. 21.
The one, you're good. As the dust settles, Darian, that is your turn.
Okay. It's my turn starts.
It is. All the goblins are in the fight now.
I am going to wander into the trees to the south.
Yeah, for sure.
I might take an opportunity attack this one. Oh no, there's no opportunity attacks.
There are some, not many. Goblins don't have them.
Cool. I'm wandering away from the puff clouds and saying, it really smells over here. I think we should make things a little bit more floral. As I am going to make a 5-foot burst.
Lovely.
That covers these.
Wonderful. That hits all 4 of them.
And flowers just start popping up.
Oh, that's lovely.
These appear to be like purple flowers. They seem to have some sort of odor, some sort of gas popping up.
What lovely
as
flowers.
they all take 7 poison damage.
7 poison damage. That knocks off one of the pairs.
How is it a critical failure? Hang on.
They must have to make a save. What's the save at the top? At the top it'll say fort save or something.
Basic reflex.
Basic reflex. Lovely. So basic just means that if they critically fail, they do double. Or if they critically succeed, they do it. Reflex. What's your DC?
20.
DC. Wonderful. That's a regular fail. And a regular fail.
Okay.
So yeah, they all take that 7. That's still enough to finish off one of the pairs.
Yeah, the days would have been critical fail.
Wonderful. All right, Mordred, you're on deck.
Yep.
Oh, that's all your 3 actions, Darian.
Yeah.
Right. Goblin's going to go for you, Big B. How does a... Does 13 doesn't hit, does it? No. No, I didn't think it would. How about a 9?
No.
Yep. And how about... It's going to try and push you. It can't. It does nothing of use. Mordred, that's your turn.
I'm getting really lucky.
Yeah.
With
You
these
see,
attacks.
it swings at you. It is just
I've been
miss and
hit
left
by
right, so-
one attack so far. It's all of 1 damage.
This is probably really selfish, but I'm gonna use lay on hands on myself.
I don't think healing yourself is selfish.
No.
For Mordred, this is the most selfish thing he's ever done. So that'll heal 12
Should
HP
cast
and give me
Feast on.
+2 to my AC.
Wonderful.
So I'll just raise my shield, so it does that. And then for my final action, I'm going to try and trip the wolf in front of me.
Yeah, go for it.
Hopefully, so that knocks it over, and then possibly.
That absolutely will. Yeah, if you trip one, you trip both.
So this is going to be an athletics check versus their reflex DC.
Yep.
Oh, best roll of the night. Not saying much. 20, dirty.
You see, you tripping with your sword.
I don't have my sword out. I'll just put out my foot and
You kick this
kick
thing in
at
the
the
leg.
back of it.
It falls down. Goblin goes tumbling. Both of them are knocked prone.
And they also take damage, I'm pretty sure, from trip.
I think it's just a critical success they take damage.
It
but
takes.
feel free to
Oh yeah. Sorry.
that's okay. Prone is under P. There's so
Yeah,
many
they take 1d6
conditions.
if it's critical.
Resistant, petrified, prone. There we go.
Yep.
And prone. Alrighty. The goblin commando that's on the ground goes next. It's going to use an action to stand up, and then is going to go back at you, Mordred. And you see it.
I already have -2 to everything and only 2 actions.
You see it picks up at you, and it just goes. Points to the ground that you tripped it over. It's going to try the same trick on you.
No.
It gets a 19,
Yeah.
which is enough. and you see it, and it kicks you in the shin. You go down, and you see it goes. It's going to go in for an attack. It doesn't have much. 15.
I don't think that'll work. No,
No, prone still drops you by another 2, but that's you're still
I'll
on.
just take my.
Yeah,
That'll
cool.
bring
So
me
you're
to
still
20.
quite high. You see it goes down and just hits you on the shield. All right. That is back to the top of the order.
Mordred's just on the ground. He's like,
Can I get a volunteer to roll me a d20?
I'll do it.
It's been notoriously wrong.
19. When it's
Oh,
not for me,
what?
it's good.
You hear, take cover! As you see a bunch of archers on horseback coming from the north and the south, some at the top of the hills, some there. Hunters by the look of it, as they take a moment to line up, assess the situation, and then volleys of arrows fly. Whew! Hitting the goblins and their dogs, taking them out.
All of them
Indeed.
dead.
Indeed. Can you all make reflex saving throws for me, as they are not sparing you from their volley?
God. How does prone interact with that?
-2.
Oh god.
Crit fail.
Crit fail.
10, crit fail.
I might hero point it.
24.
So it's nearly.
That's
Hold on, I'm
negative
going.
2.
Hero-
So
Yeah.
negative 2.
I'm going to hero
fail.
point
Yeah,
mine.
I'm gonna
This
hero
hero
point.
point.
I'm gonna hero point this as well.
Wonderful.
I think this is too funny to hero point.
Fair
I'll
And
be
that
honest.
one on my hero.
That means you get to add
It does
10.
get plus 10.
25.
25.
that makes
No,
it.
I should. No, I don't want to cash it in.
What do you mean?
So any on a hero point second roll, anything
So
under
negative
10
2.
gets plus 10.
Gets
Okay, so I still have my reflex as well, so that's 17.
Yeah.
So 17,
No, 18, sorry.
18,
yeah,
fail.
Negative 2.
that critical fail.
Negative
24.
24
Do you have negative
and
reflex?
25.
25.
Well, I
Wonderful. So
don't,
you
but
two
I've got
pass,
negatives to it at the
fail,
moment.
critical fail. Mordred gets hit, immediately clonk, drops to the ground.
Dead.
Hard to tell.
Peppered with arrows.
Got headshotted.
Oh, bless you. You're like a little hedgehog.
Uh,
You're like Mordred the Echidna.
Kelsey, you get hit, you don't get anything, but you realise you are very woozy very quickly.
Oh, okay.
You two manage to fight it off.
Question.
Yeah.
How obvious would it have been that these arrows were going to hit her? Would I have perceived this?
Absolutely, yeah. Hail of arrows coming from the sky.
As in, like, would I have had time to reflex save myself and form
A reaction,
Reaction
you can do,
on
an
her.
action, no.
Yeah, I have a reaction.
Yeah, reaction you can do. For
If
sure.
I think you're fucked.
Yeah. You take Drizella and
I will
Darian,
use
you both
G's
take
fail.
5 damage.
On you.
Reduce.
No.
You're taking my damage.
Bend reality.
Very
And you vanish into a burst of brightly coloured sparkles and smoke, reappearing an instant later.
Oh, that's
Wait,
so
so
cool.
I'm okay?
You're fine.
Mordred just sees death coming towards
It's like my special thing, yes, a focus spell.
Not
Aw.
today.
So awesome. You take 5 damage. You only take 2.
You know, I rolled.
Can I-
I don't get that very
Oh, sorry. What did you get?
I got the 24. He
Yeah.
got 17.
Oh, sorry. 17. You get hit. You feel woozy. You
Okay.
take 5 damage.
Okay.
Big B and Drizella, you only take.
So I hurt myself, but saved you.
But Mordred, you get saved. Mordred, you disappear in a puff of smoke.
Is this death?
And then
Yeah, you
you're
just
back.
pop.
Oh, no.
Noticing just a bunch of arrows right behind where you were standing.
Like you almost hear Will Smith's voice in the back of your head as like a dance number starts and then just stops as you come back to reality.
You see one of the goblins you were fighting is been hit and goes.
Oh, it's sleepy arrows.
Yeah, they seem to be tranquilizing arrows. As you see the archers on horseback, you see a call of "Hold! Hold! There's innocents down there." As you see, arrows are put away, goblins are defeated. As you see on the back of one of the horses, someone who looks to be a wizard.
Is my thing progressing, by the way, the goblin pox?
You're at max goblin pox.
I'm at
You're
max.
poxed. So you're poxed for the rest of the day at least, then you get to try again.
Do I recognise this person?
Not immediately. You see, she looks to be kind of maybe mid-30s, dark
Okay, older than
hair,
me.
crooked nose.
I'm
Kind of a
collecting.
scar on her chin.
I'm collecting. I want to go over to the goblin dogs and collect dandruff.
Give us a medicine check.
I'm gonna make vaccines.
Just don't stand on my flowers.
Mordred's like sniffing up snot, and he's like, "Does anyone need healing?"
You need
Mordred.
healing, Mordred.
I'm second one.
I say this out of the kindness of my
Oh, yeah.
heart.
I'll
Can
kick you on the
give me a
back.
Fortitude
So you
save.
throw up,
Crit
it'll reduce
20
your value.
for a 33.
Incredible. I'll give you a D4.
Oh, that's a nice roll. So
D4 goblin pox bombs.
That'll be how many you get.
I got 24 on the fortitude.
Amazing, you get 2
So-
goblin potions. So
24 on the fortitude side.
wonderful. You reduce it to 0. You beat them.
That's such a load of random gear I have.
Yeah,
Add
chuck in
gear.
inventory. 2 goblin pox bombs. If you tell me goblin pox on those.
Custom
I cough up a huge flame.
custom
Oh.
gear.
Oh,
Goblin
gross.
pox bomb.
But you're good now?
Thank you.
So everyone's awake and alive.
I think so.
Yeah, good.
Except Dave's feeling wheezy.
Yeah, you're feeling weak. So mechanically, you're second 2.
Second two.
2.
Oh, same as me.
You see, there looks to be 4 people on horseback to the north, 3 to the south, as well as the wizard who's to the north. You see, she calls out and says,
Oh, that's not nice.
"Hold still, or we'll have to loose the arrows again. Were any of you bit by the goblins?"
I'm gonna use an action to point out
Yeah, for sure. What would you like to point out?
the pustules on her skin.
Absolutely awful. You see,
See, I like
the
to I
wizard
get to
looks
point
right there and says, "No, goblin pox is oh sorry,
No, you're
goblin
right.
pox is
You're saying
goblin
something.
pox is unpleasant but not untreatable. Were any of you bit by the goblins?"
No,
Was anyone bit?
no bites.
No.
Not just the dander shit.
You see, says, "You'll pardon me a spell to check that's true." And you see Castle, you see a big wave of light very slowly move from her side on the north over you all to the south. You see the goblins all glow red after
Shoves
fact.
things up our nose.
Pretty much, yeah, it's a kind of intense. You feel the spell like pass through you, and it's very odd and unpleasant. You see, she then says, "All right, they're all clean. Very good." He calls out, "Open the gates! Open the gates!"
Straightforward one action strike bomb, by the way.
Beautiful. Yeah, one action. You lob it.
Strike, yeah, because most of the bombs are strike, like attack
okay.
roll bombs.
No, I'll
Or
give you
you-
some range on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Can I attempt to?
Mhm.
Oh, your
Is this
AC goes down as
Poison
well.
or disease?
One action.
Disease.
Nice.
Can I try and
I
treat
love this.
disease on myself?
You absolutely can.
Do
You
I
are,
actually,
at
like,
stage,
meaningful?
you are at stage 4 mechanically, by the way, so you'll only go to
Negs
stage
like nearly every single
But
skill.
yeah, you absolutely
No,
can.
but like you attack a creature and it doesn't just bite you; it like actually does meaningful things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, stuff all has
Like
cool
ongoing
attacks.
effects. or
20
just like
dirty.
20 does it, so you
like
go
that,
down to
like-
stage 3, so you can now reduce your sicken value,
It's like
and
we
you're only
do
sickened.
about
A lot of my
damage.
spells.
Can I just
A lot of my
throw
spells
up
just
a
do
ton to try and?
Right, I've got
So
that half my token.
you all watch Mordred just retch and vomit.
All right, I'm gonna take a fortitude save. Oh, finally, we're rolling well. That'll be a 23. 21, sorry.
Sorry, what are you doing now mechanically?
I'm throwing up to reduce my second value.
Oh, yes, wonderful. Yep, that gets you down to second 2, so you're no longer so now
Put
you're,
my
I think,
earpods in.
just slowed.
Just not all here.
I'm
The goblin pox
I'm gonna
rules.
speak to the people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I'm like struggling to stand up straight.
Oh, sorry, you're down to stage 1, so you're just sickened 1. Yep, you're
I'm
sitting up
gonna
straight.
be like struggling to stand straight, losing around, like
Yeah,
stumbling
that'll pass.
around,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna ask them these errors. Is there something I can have to help?
Can I treat poison?
You can treat poison, that will absolutely work.
Oh, now I don't have any second value.
You see the wizard, she calls back. Their effect is only momentary for you, unless you are like the goblins. They're specially designed, my own creation.
That's 17.
17, that... Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. You still need to roll to against the poison.
17's not enough.
That's not enough.
Not enough.
Oh, okay.
They're quite a powerful poison, unfortunately.
Never mind.
But they do only last a couple of rounds if you
Okay.
succeed, which you did. So you only are sticking to for a couple of rounds.
So I'll just stand here. And
I try and magically draw the poison out of your skin, but I can't.
Single target, 30 feet.
Maybe your
5 foot
mother
burst,
was
30
right.
feet.
A 5 foot burst,
About
30
what?
feet. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you them the way they work for dogs.
That I'm a failure? I guess she was.
Jesus.
That's true.
Mordred's just leaning on his sword and just kind of.
And I'm pretty unwell right now, and she tried but failed.
Aw.
I guess she was always right.
You see the wizard comes back.
Preying on your insecurities.
I hate to interrupt this lovely heart-to-heart you're having. What business brings you to Salazar Glum?
We're here for the ball.
Yeah, we want to go to the ball. Yeah, I was like,
You're here for the ball.
yeah.
I've just produced the letter, which is probably like pox stained now.
Pustules on it. You see that they cast 2 different spells. The first is a mage hand to bring it closer. The second is, before they actually touch themselves, prestidigitate their cleanness. They then open up and say, 1,000 pardons. We thought you were common travellers.
I flash my diplomat's badge and be like,
Yeah.
I'm worthy of being here. Thank you very much.
He says, my apologies. My name is Atasha. I'm an advisor to the Lord Valath.
Tasha?
Atasha. Atasha.
So, a law question, because I haven't asked enough law questions tonight.
Oh, I love it.
Advisors. There's often a Fey advisor from the Coven,
Yeah, so they,
and then a
they would
Wizard
have to-
advisor as well. Is there one from each school? Like often that
Yeah,
people
a
have?
glade, I won't make you roll. A glade this size, you could probably expect there'll be a religious person, there'll be an occult person, there'll be a wizard, and then there might be a druid. That one's kind of negotiable.
Okay.
Druids, just because they don't have much to do with cities, aren't likely to be here. They probably have a contact, but they might live in the woods.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So generally for every school with magic, there's some sort of
That's
advisor.
cool. The same way that you'd have someone to advise on military, someone to advise on medicine. You also need someone who understands wizard shit and witch stuff. She says, my apologies. We thought you but local travellers. Thank you. As our pardon, perhaps we could host you at the castle tonight. You'd be welcome to dine with us.
That would be fantastic.
Excellent.
Oh god.
Somewhere
right
from that
into
would be
the lion's
quite
den.
good.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Gives us a chance to.
Need you horses? Excellent.
Is it
You
far?
4, walk. And you see she just kicks 4 of these hunters off their horses and says, I trust you all know how to ride?
Yes.
Good. We shall march through the city. You see, the knights all bring over, well, not knights, but the hunters all bring over horses to you. Bigby, Darian, I believe you two would know how to ride. Do you reckon Drizella knows how to ride a horse?
Oh, she was kind of noble, wasn't she?
Probably a skill you would have learned.
Yeah.
You probably
Yeah.
know how to do it.
I would
like
say
the,
so.
The traditional, like, side.
I don't think you would.
No, I don't think I would either.
Wonderful.
Morgana wouldn't have had horses, and I don't think I was ever high enough in Camelot to.
No.
Would you have been carried around in a cart? Or
I just didn't leave the house.
So here's the thing, because there's no open fields that battle is done on in this world, horses aren't a military thing, because they're just not worth doing. They're purely a noble status, I can't be fucked to walk somewhere thing. Or transport, probably more in your case.
I'll just say, one of these men can keep their horse. I don't need one.
And you see she looks at you with, like, genuine confusion and says, are you to walk?
So you can
Yes.
have
Oh.
horses, mate.
Very well.
Would my horse carry more than one person?
Probably not with Mordred's armor, no.
Right. I tell Mordred to get on the horse.
Give us an animal.
Mordred, get on the horse. I'll teach you to ride.
Get on the horse.
I'll
Get on the
teach,
horse.
I'll teach you to ride.
Is this a nature check?
Animal. Yes, nature, I believe, is the skill.
Command an animal?
Command an animal. There we go.
Yeah, nature against will, I think.
It's only short for getting on it. It's a riding
Oh,
horse, so
dear.
it's meant for this. But
Get on the horse, Mordred.
That's
Don't
an
crit-
11.
so 11 is a fail mechanically to control the horse. So you can't get it to move, but it doesn't buck you off. So you get on it, and you're like, yeah, and it just sits there. It's a,
Can I?
Right. Can I lean over and take the reins
you absolutely can. Give us
Oh.
an animal handling.
of
would my second condition have gone now?
It would have.
I'm going to guidance myself. Just as a...
I'll just lean over to the horse and I'll say, come on, I just want to be
17.
friends, please.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
22.
Mm.
That is enough to manage both the horses without any trouble.
Right.
You see Natasha, which is up there as well. She's not casting a spell, but you see her, obviously. You see, she says, very well. Shall I give you the tour as we go through? Wonderful. Have you been to Salazar Glum before?
No, we have not had the pleasure.
Excellent. And says, might I ask how you know Velasa? How you know Velasa?
We've just heard about it. We actually don't.
No, the wise one. In your head, I'll message, that's the wise one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we go way back.
Can you track us a deception roll real quick? I love that. I think your diplomat's badge gives you a +1 to those.
Can I-
+2. Oh, we go way back.
Oh, that's only aiding me on deception, not you.
Yeah.
You can't use my kit.
15. Let's compare that to this advice, this stat block. So they actually add 15. So that doesn't get them.
Can I?
They look at you, they raise an eyebrow, and then they say nothing.
Can I try and do maybe a diplomacy check?
Yeah, sure. What's your goal?
We're old friends of the Kruthic Covens. We've worked with them on many occasions and served us as their ambassadors.
I think that's deception.
Is it? Alright,
I think that's true.
I mean, we've worked with the Covens.
At least it's better lie than mine.
We're at one point meta covered.
Hey! 17. That's the best roll I've had. Well, apart from that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mordred.
I was 21.
That still doesn't go. That's still a critical failure.
I'm going to try honesty.
She raises the other eyebrow.
I'm going to try honesty and just say, recently, I've just been lumped in the shit that these guys do. I'm just along for the ride.
We're here to take your boss's job.
You think it was diplomacy?
Does ambassador
Yes, it does. I get A.
Sorry, Matthew's got an exam first thing tomorrow morning. So
Oh,
he's probably in there.
how does
playing
aid work
Warrior.
again?
Aid, DC 15 you're aiming for.
DC 15 with the familiar.
Familiar, yeah, so familiar tries for DC 15 using its stats. I don't think it adds a lot. I've got it stat block here. It probably just adds nothing unless you
Probably
take
it's nothing, and that was 5. So
it adds +4 to do for those sorts of things.
okay, it got 9. So
Cool, so
it's
that's a failure, so it doesn't add
my
anything.
diplomacy is 14.
Wonderful. So after 3 critical failures of trying to persuade her, you see she whistles, and you see it peering out of there with a flash of blue light, majestic-looking young owl, big like eyebrows sort of thing, lands on her shoulder. She says, "Archimedes, take these to be verified." Owl grabs that, flies off her head. She says, "Right, well, let me show you around at the very least, as a thank you, as an apology." He says, Salazar Glum is made up of a number of smaller settlements, all of which support the primary Glum city, as it's known, on the plateau. The main towns are Mimsy, Borough and Kaloo. Of course, Aronian Square is sometimes referred to as a town these days, though I think it's really more of a hamlet, much like on earth, which idiot named that place? Much like Monoxen, which is also very much a place. If you decide to go wandering, stay away from Frumius Tower. We've had some disappearances there lately. And I'd also recommend...
Mystery, would you like me to like some investigating?
Pardon?
I'm an investigator. Would you like me to investigate where these...
So you see they look at one of the letters again and says, "You're an investigator too? You're an investigator as well.
As well as who?
As well as a diplomat for the Kruthic Covens."
Oh, yes.
You see, they just kind of put that away at this point. They say, I mean, if you like.
I mean, I guess.
If you would like to, we could certainly. I suppose there should be something we could. Yes, I'm sure I'm sure Carlos. I'm sure Lord Valath would consider it a personal favour if you were to look into it.
Bit itching for another mystery.
I also must advise you that the gate towards the east side of the glade is in somewhat disrepair and not a very safe place. Other than that, it's mostly farmland. And you can see that as you move from the gate, this glade is huge. It's twice or triple the size of the place you were last time, to the point where it's not all cities, it just wouldn't make sense to me. And it's these, smaller villages in which this huge farmland in between. So as you walk along this road, you can see in the distance the township of Lindsay. Looks to be, this large chapel-like building growing from it, as well as hamlet houses, that sort of thing.
Cute.
And then to the north, you see dominating the glade is this huge peninsula in the middle, this big raised thing, cliff faces on seemingly all sides, and that is built up and see like big castles and towers and spires. Does anyone ask any questions of Atasha?
Can I ask her, how long have you been here?
You see, she says, I was born here, as a matter of fact. My sister and I grew up together. She serves as the matron mother in Mimsy, in the chapel there. I myself have been an advisor to Lord Valath since he got here.
I'm going to try and approach this very diplomatically, but I'm going to ask, we've heard rumours about your lord and how life has changed in Salazar Glum. Have you found things have changed much?
Indeed it has. It's been an absolute marvel what he's managed to do with the place. He has brought a sleepy, quiet town to attention and action. I have nothing but respect for his methods.
Is there something wrong with rest?
Starvation in winter, children dying on the streets. These are things of the past now. We have food plenty, gold from trading. No one goes hungry. The poor can be taken care of when needed.
Taken care of?
Indeed. Treatments are plenty. My sister, in fact, works as the healer. None are sick these days, thanks to her and her work.
Do they make a full recovery and re-enter the community?
Naturally. What use is a farmer who cannot farm?
Okay.
You see, you have marched along, led by her, and a couple of the
I
other.
would
I have
like
a feeling
to-
taken care of means kill the poor, but
I would like to meet your sister. She sounds quite skilled.
She's quite different to myself in personality, though we do bear the same visage. Twins, as it happens.
Oh.
You
Then
see,
at least I shall recognise her.
you see she gives a very practiced chuckle. Haha, indeed. You may find her in the chapel in Mimsy.
Okay.
You see, you continue marching along. She shares a bit of history about all the things that the Glade has been doing. We've expanded the size of farming twicefold what it used to be, and used much more modern methods, research-based, to ensure maximum output from the farms. We can harvest year-round now.
can I, as we're going around, Mordred's just going to be eyes peeled for signs of oppression and poor people and signs that
Yeah, for
what
sure.
she's saying isn't true.
Yeah, for sure. You
I
see
will be looking you in the
fields-
eye and being like, we can do the same thing.
In the fields, there are lots of people working. They're all working very hard, very quick. You see lots of people on horseback. All of them have whips. Nothing's happening as you see, but they're all armed. The farmers are working at a truly miraculous speed of just hammering into the ground, grabbing as many crops as they can. They don't walk to the cart with the corn, they are run.
Oh god.
You see, as I do, the people in the on the horseback all have the same like gold yellow sash on them. Some of them wear armor, some of them don't. They all greet Atasha as she comes by. Mostly, usually with my name or something to that extent.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a big thing you see, which is you continue on, you reach Omeni in a square. You see, this looks like it was a small little hamlet, and then in the middle of it, you see this enormous castle, like 4 stories tall. Looks quite new. It's very fresh stone compared to the houses. That's not what grabs your eye. In the middle of this little village, sort of all around the central junction, there is a big cage in the middle, like a comically oversized bird cage. And sitting in it in rags, you see a man.
This guy did.
He's got dirty blonde hair. Do you ask that to your guard? You see Tash says, in there sits a traitor to his family who betrayed them during an uprising many years ago. He sits as a reminder to the people of the mercy of Lord Valar.
So is he like a son or a nephew? Who's he related to?
He's the son of the previous lord of this glade, before Carlos Valar married into the family.
Can I?
He did not approve of his sister's marriage and attempted to slay our rightful king of this glade.
I would like to message
Yeah,
into
for sure.
the man's head.
You see, as you cast that, there is the sound of like a marble hitting metal as just boom, as you see the cage shakes like the spell fades. As you see guards around the cage, kind of look around a little bit. Give me a religion check. You do divine magic, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, religion check.
16.
16, that's enough.
Hang on. 15, sorry.
15? Not bad.
Oh no!
You're still a bit, you're showing the details. Something about the metal stops low level spells. Is what you get with a 15. I feel like a high level spell would get through just fine, but.
Do I know what this says?
You can give it a go, yeah.
If you fail, I'll give you go to.
24.
The iron that makes this cage has been treated in a certain way that it has a subtle anti-magic feel to it. Spells of 3rd level or lower won't make it happen. 4th level or higher will work just fine.
Is he fed and
Enough.
treated with care?
He is treated with all the care he has shown his host.
You could hardly blame him for trying to fight for his home.
You see it actually fully stops her horse, and you see turns and says, "What would you have us do?"
Take mercy on him?
In what way? Shall we free him? Shall we put the blade in his hand to put at our own throats?
He may not decide to try and kill
Chop
you.
his
He may...
head off.
Baby!
Hey, that's a mercy kind.
It is fascinating to see.
I'm going
even
to
you
cast
look together.
Tremor Signs
Mm.
as the ground sort of tremors with something that you would be aware of that just says, "Don't be an idiot."
But it's
But
none,
it's just a
it's none of
tremor.
our business as to what goes on in these walls. That's
Indeed,
the
it is
business
not.
of the folk of this glade.
Quite. Let me see. Continue to a very pleasant woman.
It's just like this disapproving tremor just like feels under your feet. You kind of know what it means. You're like, it's like a Morse code.
Mordred just gives you a...
You see under the dirt and the grime, blonde hair, blonde beard. This guy looks like he's been here for a while. He's very thin. He's got to sit in
I
the
want to
corner.
give him some food.
Watches you as you go past, but doesn't do or say much. There's 4 guards each around the cage.
Can I give a little wave?
Yeah. He doesn't respond. Actually, get diplomacy check.
Hell yeah. Ooh, that's not bad, that's not bad. That's a 29.
29. He doesn't wave, but you see he like turns his body to follow, watching you as you walk out of the little hamlet. There's only like half a dozen buildings here, so not really a full town. But you see, it's probably like there's a guardhouse nearby. There's a tavern, and that sort of thing. You continue on up through into Glum City, the main part.
Glum City. Sounds like a nice place.
The city of Glum, as it's called.
As we're walking, can I attempt to make an impression on this?
You absolutely can. It has been long enough to try to make an impression on Natasha.
Can I aid
You're
her?
going to have a penalty to that if you try it, because you did a
It's mine.
faux pas. Bigby, you're going to have a smaller
She
penalty, but
is
still,
a wizard,
still
so I'm going to be speaking about wizardy stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let you make an Arcana check instead of diplomacy if you want to do it through
I guess
wizard
it's
stuff.
plus 2 extra. Sure. Why
Yeah,
not?
okay, I'll take
And
You actually don't get a choice. You actually have to make an impression.
Oh,
I just
okay.
usually don't get you to roll for it because it's not terrible. But can we get an impression from everyone? So diplomacy checks.
And
Hell yeah.
my
And because you're here as a group, what I'll do is I'll just take the
family is going to help.
Not a bad call. So Bigby, you're taking 2 from this. Mordred, you're taking 4 from this.
4.
Oh my god.
If they were a commoner, they'd probably sit at your feet. That drops them down to not like hostile, but unhelpful.
Yeah.
That is a natural 20 for what would be a 33.
Dropped by 4 is still like a 20 29.
Yep.
Well, Rosella, just that's hilarious.
I would love to
It's a
roleplay that.
Do you know?
21.
Do you know what's even better about mine?
Hmm.
I rolled a 16 on the die for ambassador for my pet to like help, and then I rolled a nat 1 on my die
Oh no.
for a 13.
So 13. Yeah. So you so critical fail. Critical fail. What was yours?
Oh, actually, 23.
23.
Do you think she'd recognise my bullshit and realise that I never actually passed my qualifications at the Wisdom
I
School?
think that's the thing. You get we'll resolve all of these in role playing. It's too good not to. As you're talking along, you kind of go up to the front. And you see, wizard, I've got this.
Yeah.
You start talking about. So, what sort of school are you trained in? It's apparent really clearly she went to the Arcanium Institute. She went to the sandstone, prestigious, very high-ranking academic university.
She's the sort of person I hated, and that's
She
why I
is.
got expelled.
And she specializes in theoretical magic. So she tinkers with the concept of changing some of the rules of some certain spells. It's like 7 steps removed.
It's all about feel.
Yeah, so she probably doesn't actually cast all that many spells. So absolutely deflated there. Drizella, do you try to talk to her at all, or not particularly?
No, I
Yeah,
am.
she's-
I am
that's
sitting on my. Yeah, I'm sitting on my horse.
Yeah.
Assembling pox bombs.
Fantastic. You just got dog skin that you're scraping or something.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I've got chopped out a bit of back, and I'm just scraping all the dandruff off into some kind of glass receptacle.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Completely doing a different assignment.
Yeah, I'm following along. I'm just guy in a cage.
So I was
Interesting.
going to get into this.
Oh, it's a
more once
magical
you get into
cage.
this, but yeah, once you talk to someone for 10 minutes, you make that diplomacy check with either a plus or minus up to 5 modifier, depending on what you've done in character, to determine how much they like you. So if you challenge their worldview, you get a -4 or a 5. If you suck up, you might get a +4, +5 sort of thing.
If you scrape goblin pox into a glass vial,
Yeah, that probably's not going to register high.
that's pretty neutral.
Big B, what's your approach to getting this person to like you, if anything? You can also just not take it.
Well, I'd just be kind of curious as to what their what their policies
I did ask
are.
about her
Yeah, for
sister
sure.
and said she would be a good healer.
They
Pure
talk a lot about
inquisitive
the
stuff.
free hand of the market and how competitive trade has really brought life and wind back into this dying, neglected glade that was stifled by bureaucracy.
Oh dear.
Just regular.
This is
They've made
America, isn't
Salazar
So-
glum
so-
great again.
I'll be putting on very good, and then just my beard will just be slowly going.
Yes, and their insight function pick up that you.
I'm expecting
That's
to
why
find some
I
red
want-
patch somewhere.
I and make Salazar glum great again. Cat for Christmas.
What
I'm
do
going
you
to write
talk
that on my
about
list.
as your bride
You know,
after that initial?
I genuinely have no idea what Mordred would say that would improve it, but I'm gonna go
Well,
with.
you just tell me what you do, and then I'll tell you how it improves. But what does Mordred say?
I'm gonna say. So you've got a twin, yeah?
Yes.
I found out my mother's got some twins. I just met them.
You know, Mordred, I really admire your strength of spirit. The way that you've come in here and told us what you believe. The force of will you exude is strangely charming, despite yourself.
Thank you.
Can I inside check, figure out if there was a lie?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I find that what's within oneself is the
They're
most important
20.
thing.
I couldn't agree more. They fully like Mordred the best out of all of you. Because of that, make an impression check.
Because she thinks Mordred's actually dealing with the balls to talk straight.
Pretty much, yeah. And her reasoning's not false or twisted either.
No.
She seems to care about well.
I'm gonna
It's
keep
okay,
my
I
mouth
already hate a
shut.
gut, so...
So, Real quick, it's 10:30. You're about to head into the city. Do we want to call it here for the night? Do we want to go for another 15 minutes or so? Probably a good spot to call it would be now, I think.
Probably call it
Yeah.
because I've got to get up early, and
Yeah.
and Marty's got exams in the morning.
I'm
so-
having fun, but
I am also having fun, but
Thursdays are good.
Wonderful. We will leave it there then.
I
as you head into
would absolutely
and
play.
Mordred's riding
drums.
alongside her,
Drums.
like, yeah, I can get
Thursdays
used
are
to
good,
this.
but I'm still not 100% and need sleep. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much.
Thank
I hope
you.
that was good fun.
That was so fun.
It's so good to be back.
I love Thursday.
Yeah, I think this mod is